97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, what up, everybody? Good morning. Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Appreciate you listening on the old-fashioned radio dial. WPNFN Philadelphia, Burlington. Good morning on the Fanatic app. Oh, my God, the Fanatic app is so good. You can download it, listen anywhere and everywhere. There's a video component, all of our written content. It's excellent. Download the Fanatic app. And, of course, everybody watching live right now on YouTube, subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. You can watch every day live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., or you can go back and watch whenever you want to. Like last night, I was what portion? I watched the Mickey Mouse segment yesterday while I was doing dishes. As we welcome back, he was on assignment yesterday in Tampa, Florida. His name is Ray Dunn. Hi, Raymond.
How are you, Johnny?
I know it was a little bit of a rough night last night. The Lady Owls gave a valiant effort but came up short.
I'm burnt. I was in the sun. It was. I enjoyed the 80-degree weather. That was nice.
Did you put sunscreen on?
No. I'm not packing sunscreen for a one-day trip.
No?
No.
Well, because then it's in your carry-on. You can only bring a certain amount of liquid.
Right, and
they arrest you.
That amount of sunscreen isn't going to save me anyways. I'm too pale for that to really help me out, so it really wouldn't matter.
All right. Well, Ray is back, and we have a lot to talk about here. It's just us, which is good because there's a lot to talk about. Ray has a lot to say about all the issues. We have Eagles and A.J. Brown, more reporting, more thoughts, more feels. Is he coming or is he staying or is he going? But I really don't think you can do anything but start with the 76ers after last night. And you know what the problem is, Ray? I don't really know what you say about them because you don't like to say that.
That's right, it stinks!
You don't like to say that teams quit, right? Because then you're saying, oh, well, you're going out there and you're intentionally not trying. But really since the McCain trade, the McCain trade sunk the 76ers. And I really need an insider's point of view to know exactly what happened with it. Because we talked to Bob Cooney after the trade, and Bob believes that Daryl Morey could have moved other salaries and contracts to get below that financial level the Sixers needed to. So it was not just about finances, that when Daryl Morey thinks he's sold high on Jared McCain, he actually means it.
Deep team.
And if that is the case, then I have to question what the hell Daryl Morey's thinking. And Jared McCain's not the difference between the Sixers going to the Eastern Conference Finals or not. Clearly, Joel Embiid not being in the lineup is what sinks the 76ers. These guys, not that they've given up, but the bubble has been bursted. The wind has been taken out of their sails. However you want to describe it, that McCain trade, I mean, God, Maxey was crying afterwards. Bob Cooney's going to join us at 10:45 to talk about all of it. Great. Yeah, like they haven't been the same team since. Last night at one point, I don't know if it was the largest lead of the game, but I looked at the old-time NBC graphic. They were down 39 points, and I think it was pretty early in the third quarter. And Kelly Oubre was out last night. Obviously, Embiid missed another game. But still, it's like a team that's out there in a daze walking around, and they know they're not good enough. And they also know that at the trade deadline that they had an opportunity to add. They had an opportunity to not get rid of, and they elected to trade Jared McCain, which was terrible for morale. And this team's playing like they know that their GM doesn't believe in them, and they didn't care. And instead of trying to make the team better so they could go on a run, because they still are in the top six. They're not a play-in team. They're probably going to be a play-in team, but they're not a play-in team. And instead of trying to surge and maybe be the 4 seed or the 5 seed or have a real chance, if you're the 6 seed and you're playing the Knicks, all right, I can deal with that. That's not bad. Let's go. But instead, you sell a guy, and now you watch him, and he looks like the rookie that you saw last year before he got injured. He's scoring points. He's contributing. He's bringing energy off the bench. The kid can shoot. Kind of what you need here as you feel like you're a guard short. And then Daryl Morey, the sold high thing, it's just it's a formula and a recipe to just take a not even a pin, to take a knife, boom, and burst that bubble. And that's what it feels like with the 76ers right now. And now you really have to ask, because if you look at the standings, and we don't know when Joel Embiid's going to be back. They said reevaluated after 3 games. That doesn't mean he's back after 3 games. The reevaluation could be another 3 games. And at what point do you just say, eh? At what point does Joel Embiid and his camp say, eh? Where are they going to be? They're 2.5 games up being in the even a play-in team. Now the Bucks are further behind, so it looks like the Sixers they really have to go in a huge downfall to not make the play-in. But still, you look at the season now. We were talking about it earlier. Can they win a series? Yes. Can they win 2 series? I don't know. We'll see. Man, now it looks like they're going to be a play-in team. And an opportunity to show confidence in your team and to add to the roster and say, hey, you know what? Even without Joel Embiid, we can win some games. Now they look like they can't win anything without Joel Embiid. And it's bad, and I don't know how they don't make changes after this season. I had said yesterday, I have some friends that they were with the 76ers, and they told me, man, Sixers weren't happy with you talking about regime change and all that stuff. I am not saying to fire Daryl Morey. I am saying that I think a change would do the team a great deal of benefit. And at what point do you just stop saying, okay, we're going to run it back and we're going to put some duct tape on Embiid. We're going to cross our fingers. We have these 2 young players. Maybe we can be a 3 seed. Maybe we can be a 4 seed. You never know if Embiid's healthy and they have this magical run. Can we be over with that? I'm exhausted with that. And I like Daryl. How do you bring Daryl Morey back? How can you run this back? The offseason of the Embiid trade and the Paul George max contract will go down as one of the worst off seasons in 76ers history. Ray Dunn, I want your thoughts on all of this.
Yeah, I thought for a long time that I would look back at this era with Joel Embiid, and I look back at the summer where Jimmy walks,
Lose
where
my
Butler.
freaking mind. We better figure this out.
Sorry.
I mean, that's fair enough. I agree with Doug Peterson on that one. They got to figure this, out.
It was intense. It was unintentional, but
it fit the moment.
It fit.
Yeah, if you were going to hit any drop, that'd be the drop to hit right there. I thought I'd go back and look back at when Butler went down to Miami, when they gave Horford that contract, and when they gave Simmons the extension all within 1 week. And to me, that was the most disastrous week of Sixers fandom I had. I would start to argue that maybe that beginning of free agency in 2024, where they give Paul George the 4-year contract and Embiid ends up getting the extension as a result, and you look at the guys they brought in at that time, we were heralding it. They brought back the best backup center that Joel's ever had, and Andre Drummond. They go out there, they get Caleb Martin. Look what he did. He's the Boston Strangler Part 2. Who was the other guy? Oubre ends up getting an extra contract, I think, out of that. Like, you look at all the moves they made, and not all of them are as disastrous as the last, but we haven't seen Paul George in, a month at this point. Joel Embiid has played 33 games this season. He's going to be reevaluated with a right oblique because it was the left knee that was the biggest problem for a long time, and now it's the right side of his body because it seems like he's a guy that's overcompensating for the fact that the left side of his body
is been hurt. The other knee, the knee that has the actual issue.
And then last night it just almost felt like the Sixers were as exhausted with everything as we were. Like it's just like, oh yeah, the air's out of the balloon. And not that you're forecasting that to happen, because I don't think you ever expect a professional team to get run out of the gym quite like that. But there was the undercurrent of this for the last month or so, where they had stopped being able to play without Joel Embiid. That, like, you saw all of a sudden offensively they didn't have an identity without him again. They still can't rebound, which has always been a problem under Daryl Morey. This is like 6 years now of them being unable to rebound just because of the way they build the roster. And it was like, how long can you really run the engine of Maxey and VJ just playing a ton of minutes and just trying to carry you to a record without Joel Embiid? And it kind of feels like we've run into the point of, this will be a play-in team. Maybe they win the games in the play-in. They get themselves into a position to play one of the top 2 seeds in the East. But if you end up against the Celtics or the Pistons, I'm not the only one to be booking flights to go to Cancun. Like, I think everyone knows exactly where this goes if they end up in playing.
I may stay out of Mexico right now, but to your point.
So, yeah, I'll go to Punta Cana.
It's all right. Just saying, with the cartels. What do you really say? Edgecombe now, you haven't overused them because you're a guard short. Well, at least now you can re-sign Quentin Grimes and get you a better time to re-sign Quentin Grimes. What's Grimes doing this year, right? He came off a strong season. There's a reason why the Sixers weren't all that enthused about meeting his asking price and brought him back. He hasn't done anything to help himself in free agency. That's for sure.
Maybe that's a win for Morey there. Maybe that's the one thing you can point to over the last 2 seasons. It's not a draft pick that you'd be like, you know what? You might have had a point about not giving Grimes all that money.
Right. And then, like, I'll repeat this because people hear what they want to hear. I'm not even saying Morey's done a horrible job. What would I have done with Joel Embiid? Would I have signed him to that contract extension? It's easy to say that right now and say no. But back then, I don't know what medical information they had where you're going to say, okay, we're not going to sign him when he's able to be extended. Is that like if the plan is the only way we're going to win, and if Daryl Morey's plan is I'm not going to see after Joel Embiid, he's going to be my guy. When Joel Embiid's gone, it doesn't work. I'm going to be gone. So you extend him. I don't know. I think he's been fine. Like Daryl Morey's been fine. The reality is that it hasn't worked. They're not closer to getting to an Eastern Conference final since he took over. They're further away, and some of that's circumstance. It's not his fault. If Joel Embiid, the former MVP, who's one of the best players to ever play for the 76ers, can't stay on the court, and he can't stay healthy, and you don't know when he's going to be able to play or when he's not going to be able to play, you could have the best GM in the world. You're not winning anything. You're not. Maxey's been a great draft pick. McCain was a good draft pick, though he traded him away for nothing. And Edgecombe seems like it's going to be a really, really good draft pick. Morey's had some hits. He's had some misses. But the fact that you brought Joel Embiid back, that made you pot committed to go out and give Paul George a max extension because that was the move that made the most sense. Even I said it when they signed him. I don't really like that they're doing this. But if you're trying to win something with the current roster, it's almost the move that you have to make. And it didn't work, and I didn't think it was going to work.
You made the Paul George move, and then your justification for giving Embiid the extension was you wanted to match up the timelines. Like, you're not bringing Paul George in without giving Embiid the extension. Well, okay, if that's the case, those two moves are married at the hip right now. Those two moves right now are sitting on your bench. You got $100 million sitting there on your bench watching right now, game in and game out. And that's anchoring this group right now. And it's tough to say it that way because when Joel plays, they've obviously been a good team, but it's when Joel plays. And that's just a testament to how talented he is. And it's the same song and dance. We're talking about the same conversations we've had time and time again, which is why at this point, fresh eyes look at the situation and determine the best course forward. Probably the right way to go. And I don't think they're going to be left with much of an option if this team ends up going the way it goes. Like, people could be disappointed, and the Sixers could be disappointed with us talking about, like, a regime change. But at the end of the day, if they drop into the play-in...
What do they expect, man? Come on.
If they drop into the play-in, like... I'm sorry. I'd love to meet the person out there, and you're welcome in. Text line, phone line, 610-632-0975. They get into the play-in, and they win the games necessary to get to the playoffs, and you legitimately believe they're beating the Celtics or the Pistons. I'd love to hear from you on why. Because maybe you just haven't watched the Pistons.
No one's going to say that right now. Some people will talk themselves into that just because you're in the playoffs, and who wants to go into the playoffs and be like, they have no chance? They have no chance. The Celtics without Jason Tatum are one of the best teams in the NBA. Period. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Up in Boston, they're starting to talk about, hey, is it really that good of an idea to rush Tatum back? The chemistry on this team's so good.
I love this conversation, by the way. This is what I'm rooting for. I am rooting so hard for Boston to be like, wait a second, Tatum's just a role guy.
Yeah, hang on. Look, now we got this guy taking 30 shots. We've been winning all these games. He comes back. Now I'm not getting shots. It's interesting. So this came out in the last, I don't know how long. Kevin O'Connor, who is one of my favorite guys that covers the NBA, good podcast, good stuff. Now he's doing, he's the senior analyst for Yahoo. And he says the following. Daryl Morey was reportedly looking to add Kawhi Leonard to the Sixers at the deadline, per Kevin O'Connor. Executives have said that the Sixers were actively making calls pre-deadline, though nothing seemed remotely close. Some sources suggest that Morey was star hunting with Kawhi Leonard being a name that was connected to Philly, but nothing happened. So Embiid, Maxey, and the team saw McCain get dealt, the tax get ducked, and no pieces brought in to help. So now, is this why he made the trade and got a first for McCain? Because he thought, because when Daryl Morey said he made the trade because they thought they were selling high, and he was trying to make another trade, and I called BS on it. So I'm like, no one does that. You have another trade set up before you make a trade. Did he make the trade because he thought the first-round draft pick would get you Kawhi Leonard?
Hey, man, every time Bryce Harper steps in that box, I think he wants to get on base and drive guys in. If he strikes out, he strikes out. That's on him. Daryl Morey, you could think you were getting Kawhi Leonard. You trade away McCain and you come away with nothing, and this entire team looks around and says, wow, we're worse than we were at the deadline. You still struck out. Ideas are ideas. Execution is what gets this whole thing done. There was no execution done on this. I'm not giving credit here for the idea of getting Kawhi Leonard. I'm still watching Kawhi on West Coast television right now. It doesn't mean much to me.
Nope. Morey said this after the trade. I'm quite confident we were selling high. Obviously, time will tell. We weren't looking to sell. Teams came to us with aggressive offers for him. We thought this return was above the future value for our franchise. The only higher point would have been during his run last season. Or it would have been during the offseason. Because he's starting to cook.
Or if he had run like this at the end of the season, yeah, maybe it would have been the offseason. Or maybe his best value would have been playing for the team that drafted him on a contract that's affordable, on a team that could use a guard and could use some shooting.
If you remember before, and O'Connor points this out, before he got injured, he was the odds-on favorite to win the Rookie of the Year.
That he was. That he was, Johnny Marks. That he was. And now the reigning champions, who arguably have the deepest roster in basketball, if not one of the top 3 deepest rosters in basketball, not only have found a role for him, he's thriving in that role. He looks better than he had ever as a Sixer. I'll go even say further than that Rookie of the Year. And it's right away. It's not let me just assimilate and figure out what it is. This isn't like, oh, can we review the grades on this trade at the end of the season? No, this aged poorly within a month.
Yep.
It's pathetic.
Do we have Maxey from last night?
Oh, yeah.
Maxey talking about he's talking about the McCain and the trade. Here's Maxey.
I don't think so. I don't think we're dwelling on it. I mean, Jared was a close friend of ours, great teammate, great person. So I definitely think we miss him, of course. I mean, I ain't going to lie and say I don't miss Jared. But I'm happy for him. I watch him. OKC, make sure I hope he does well every single night that he plays, except when he plays us, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, that is not, this is a business at the end of the day. I've seen many people traded. I don't want to get traded, and whatever the case may be, people left in free agency. That you can't dwell on that. You know what I'm saying? You got to focus on the people that's in this building.
Yep, you do. Yeah, he can't sit up there and be like, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, but he let you know his feelings about it. The whole team did. Joel Embiid, before the trade deadline, the week before the trade deadline, said that the Sixers in previous years were ducking the luxury tax. He doesn't say that because he's Dave Dombrowski and he just gets talking and, that stuff comes out of his mouth. He's saying it because that's what's on his mind. So if that's on his mind, these players aren't stupid. They know what's going on. So do I believe that it was the edict of Josh Harris to, hey, let's get below that certain financial point so we don't pay the luxury tax? Absolutely. That doesn't mean that you have to trade McCain. If Bob Cooney tells me there were other ways to do it, then there were other ways to do it. They were trying to make a move for Kawhi, according to Kevin O'Connor. And he says in his article that the Sixers were definitely busy pre-deadline trying to make something happen. There was just nothing to happen because teams aren't interested in these lowly draft picks that they have. What else are they going to offer?
Here's the thing. If the season's going to go awry, right, and it's going to go poorly, at least give me young talent to look forward to. If the season goes awry and you trade away one of the young pieces you have on this team, that's 2 strikes against you. And that's already coming off of what we've watched over the last 2 years. Yeah. If this season was going to go this way, fine. This season went this way, and now, hey, coming up after this Sixers disaster, out on our West Coast feature, one of the best teams in the Western Conference, the Thunder, tonight take on fill-in-the-blank team. There's Jared McCain on your TV, dropping another 3. There's Jared McCain. What are we doing?
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975.
And you know what the worst thing about this is?
Yeah.
I'll be there tonight.
Oh, you're going down tonight?
Yeah.
Fun.
I've got the sickness. I'm going to be there.
Nice. You should enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, otherwise you could sell for $5 on
That's exactly it.
Game time.
You know who's on the hottest seat right now? Me. Because I was the one that convinced the entire group, you know what, these tickets are a good idea. Even after last year, it gets us all together as a group.
But listen, in 2029, they could be valuable again.
Right now, man, the way they're talking to me, we did the double up where we give up one of the tickets and then take another pair for a different game. So they doubled up on last night because a lot of the guys wanted to see Wemby.
Right, sure.
So I had quite a few buddies. We had, instead of having 2, we had 4 tickets for that game. So quite a few buddies that were down there. The group chat last night, oh, man. And that's on me.
I just navigated away from the box score. I think they gave up 46 points in the second quarter, and they got outscored 35-11 in the third. They lost by 40 points, and they actually, in garbage time, they narrowed it down. They won the fourth quarter by 9.6. So here's what I'm going to ask Bob Cooney, and here's what I'm asking the audience on the text line and on the phone lines, 610-632-0975. What do you do going forward? They're not going anywhere in the playoffs this year. Everybody realizes that. What do you do going forward? And it's not just about Daryl Morey. It's the like what's the franchise's goal? What do you do? And it involves the big man. You're getting another roll of duct tape, and you're bringing in Embiid, and you're trying to add in the margins and things like that. I'm ready to start over. 610-632-0975. What needs to change? Bob Cooney, 1045. Coming up next, we have the 76ers tickets and a spot in our knockout tournament. We'll tell you how to get them next. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Crushed by the Spurs. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Papa John's. Introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Introduce a medium one-topping pan pizza, just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. The Sixers lost 131-91 to the Spurs last night at home. They trailed by 49 points at the end of the third quarter. VJ Edgecombe did not play in the second half with back soreness after taking a hard fall early in the game. Sixers back in action tonight against the Jazz. You can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. We're less than a week away until NFL free agency. Adam Schefter joined the morning show today, talked about a number of things, including his latest thoughts on A.J. Brown.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet $1 today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not, but
we'll talk to James Palmer coming up at 1 o'clock about everything going on with the Birds this offseason, and, of course, A.J. Brown. Spring training action continues today down in Clearwater. Phillies have Team Canada. That's a 1:05 start. This update's also brought to you by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
Marks and Solo Raymond show. Sean's back tomorrow, I believe, or no?
Yes.
All right, yeah, I think he is back tomorrow. All right. Play that funky music, Maury. All right, so before we get back into the 76ers, Bob Cooney coming up at 10:45, 15 minutes from now. So we have the 76ers tickets and the spot in the knockout tournament, 97.5 The Fanatics knockout tournament, and the tickets March 25th at Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can get your single game tickets today at Sixers.com. Here's how we're going to do it today. All right. Ricky and Bill have their segment at 4 o'clock every day. What's it called again?
525 you're thinking of.
It's 525?
Give me more at 4 is at 4. Yes,
See,
we hear you as a 525 special.
I'm pretty much done at 5 minutes to 3 or 3 o'clock at the latest because that's when I get home and that's when I pick up my little girl and then we go pick up the kids from school. And Bella is not allowing sports radio. She needs music or yacht rock.
Makes sense.
She likes yacht rock. Or we're playing Bob the Train over the speaker. So anyway, at 525, they play the voice memos. And when Bill came with me to the idea, he said, what do you think of this idea? I think it's great because people call. We do the YouTube chat recap where we get it voiced, but using the voice memo that you send to our text line of 610-632-0975 is a good idea. So here's what we're doing. And we need to tell people how to do it. If you want to represent Middays with Marks as we take over the knockout tournament, and Ray, we're winning it because no one else is really trying.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to watch the effort around this place.
I can't believe it. I mean, is this the first show that actually said, hey, we want to win this and we're going to angle to win it and we're going to recruit and things like that?
First time in station history.
Well, listen, here's what we're going to do. So you send us the voice text. And what you're going to do is if you have an iPhone, I don't know if you have any of the other phones how to do it. But you hit the little plus next to the message, and what pops up, it's in my phone, it says camera, photos, stickers, blah, blah, and audio. You hit the audio button, and then you leave the message right into it. You can see the wave file going right there. You hit stop, and boom, then you send it to 610-632-0975. So just put in your phone, our phone number, and save it, Fanatic, and then that's when you hit the plus sign and you send us the voice memo. We want you to make a pitch to us. Can be 30 seconds. Can like a minute might be a little bit.
Not much.
Yeah, but make your pitch to us why we should select you. And it doesn't have to be that you're a great basketball player or your son's a great basketball player and he's going to, because we have a couple of good players already. Just give us some personality. Give us some reasons why you, because ultimately we want to be entertained too.
Right.
So you can suck at basketball, but if you're going to wear a gorilla outfit or like, give us a reason to pick you is what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is also about content.
It's about content.
It's also about people I can hang out with. Like, let's call it what it is. I get down there. I'm going to have a couple. I want someone that I'm going to enjoy the time with. And that's kind of what this is about. We need a couple of vibes guys on this team.
I need chaos.
Yeah.
I need people that are going to give us chaos.
Chaos will be there.
Yeah, because like Ricky's already being like,
suck.
I'm not gonna, like, oh well, like I'm not really gonna try because my
who the hell is Ray Dunn?
So every day we have tickets and a spot in the knockout tournament. We will actively recruit with what we're looking for today. Again, the text line is 610-632-0975. Just send us the voice message, and we're gonna go in as the show goes through and we get them. We'll edit them to make them nice and tight, and then boom, we'll play them on the air. And then at 1:30, we decide who makes it. All right. Speaking of the text line, what are people saying about this? First of all, before that, how did Daryl Morey think he was going to get Kawhi Leonard? They were going to dump his salary, and they would take a couple first-round draft picks for it, and pick swaps. Like, hey, pick swap 2035. Do you want it? How are they going to get him? They don't have anything of value.
The ultimate irony of Paul George being a Clipper again.
Trade Paul George back to the Clippers.
Right.
There you go.
Because it mentions Maxey and Embiid. Like, it seems like the whole team is set, and it was just like, all right, this whole PG thing didn't work out. You know what Paul George really likes to be? L.A. You know what we could really use? Guy that could play.
Right. Yeah, better guy with the Clippers. Would that have been 3 first-round draft picks they could have traded?
I think that it was 3, yeah.
And then a bunch of seconds. So Morey had thought, hey, with this, and then maybe even you could do some trades in a 3. Because where the Clippers aren't winning a title this year.
No, and they traded James Harden, so it was like the whole hard reset. It just would have been incredibly ironic. I don't think they would have done it, though, because the Clippers, wasn't their whole thing, they didn't want to have money on the books beyond 2027?
Yes.
And it is Paul George, this is 2025, 26, 27, 27, 20. They would have been 1 year past when they didn't want to have money on the books. And this was a guy they didn't want to give a 4-year contract to 2 years ago.
Yeah, they gave him an offer they knew he would refuse, and the Sixers did it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good reading the market there, Maury.
Honestly, see, that's where you need to look at it. Like, that's where relationships matter, and that's where an executive needs to convince another executive, hey, Joel Embiid, I know he misses a lot of games and he's injured, but you're trying to compete against the Lakers, Joel Embiid. Because if I'm a Clippers fan and I'm hearing Joel Embiid's getting traded to the team, even with him only playing 50 games, you're not excited?
Well, for Kawhi, it's kind of over at that point, right?
Yeah.
Because you're trading for Embiid, it's going to be what, Embiid, Garland running the show?
Oh, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
With that.
If I'm a Clippers fan, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm not doing? Going down to the injury.
And by the way, just to answer my own question of would I've done the Kawhi thing, of course. Because look where you are right now. They weren't going to trade Maxey or Edgecombe, so you're really just trying to put a bunch of draft picks and hope that the Clippers are willing to dump salary.
PG for Kawhi and all that? Why not, man? At this point, let me just get as many different guys I really enjoyed watching in basketball like 5 years ago in Sixers uniforms.
Yep.
Well, honestly, Kawhi, it's probably like 10 years ago, but, you know.
Right.
He's been too busy with his side job.
But
since.
he was a Raptor, so you envision him at the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Right. Exactly. He's got postseason success.
All right, so what's the text line saying about all this?
Yeah, the text line's ready to blow everything up and start over. Good morning, John and Ray. Sixers need to keep VJ and Tyrese Maxey. Everyone else should be on the table for discussion.
That's where I wonder how many Sixers fans, because when you say it and then you mention Embiid, you have – remember when with Simmons, you still had people that were like, you do not trade that type of elite defensive talent. He does everything else.
Right.
And then by the end, everybody wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah.
There's a real case for not trading Embiid because the talent is real. The Embiid, the Ben Simmons stuff was kind of like, all right, like he also won't shoot and can't shoot foul shots. The Embiid talent is real. So I can see why Sixers fans would be trying to hold on to that. They see the MVP Joel Embiid. I would just counter that by saying it's not going to work. This is over. The whole idea that you're going to be able to make this work with Joel Embiid, it's time to start over. It's time to start fresh. All right, what else do we have here?
Yeah, we've got the very simply put, fire Morey, fire Nurse, whatever you do with anyone else, I don't care.
Nurse, it seems like, well, if Morey does end up moving on, Nurse probably, unless the Sixers don't want to pay another salary, right? Because you would have to pay him out.
Rivers got to be off the books at this point, right?
Is he?
You got to think, right? I mean, he's been the Bucks coach for how long? There's no way you're still paying Doc Rivers.
I guess not.
No. Everyone else operated probably on 1-year contracts.
Yeah, what the hell? Josh Harris doesn't care about money. Oh, wait, he does.
Next year, they're not paying the tax again. We have to pay the Nurse contract.
All right, so I don't remember what you said when we talked about it the other day, but where are you with the Sixers right now? What's the offseason plan? Can we just say that like they make the play-in, maybe they win the play-in round, but they're not making it past the second round or even the first round?
They're not making it past the first round right now. You don't feel very confident about that, just the uncertainty with Embiid. Yeah, I've been pretty down for a while now just because I saw where they were. They were sixth. They needed a lot to go there. They had a very razor-thin margin of error, and anything I know about this team is when you give them that, they're not going to get on the right side of it. Embiid's injury history and the way they were playing without Embiid, I didn't feel good. I feel justified at this point for not feeling good. What they have to do going forward, I would look into a new person to just look over this entire thing, someone with a fresh perspective on it, but said that last year, and they gave another opportunity to course correct. So
this is going to come down to ownership and what they want to do. It feels like that after the Embiid contract, and if you believe what a lot of people are saying, which was Josh Harris was unhappy with Morey after that contract, especially after the way that Embiid reacted with the knee and everything else to the contract. It's like, what are you doing? 610-632-0975. The best 76ers beat writer. Is he the official Sixers beat writer of Middays with Marks?
For sure. Absolutely.
And Ray and Sean. Bob Cooney of On Patterson gives us his expert analysis and opinion on what's going on with the 76ers and what he thinks ends up happening after the season. That is next. Bob Cooney, Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. For a second, Morgan Stern Hair Restoration. All right, so check it out, right? And especially if you're watching on YouTube or you just want to go to my Instagram page or my Twitter page, you can see what my hair looks like in real time, real life. Not doctored up pictures or anything like that. It's not airbrushed. My hair looks great. And I had a hair restoration procedure, a hair transplant a couple years ago. The results are amazing. We've unearthed some old pictures from years ago, and Sean pointed it out in one of them. I noticed your hairline. This was 15 years ago. And it's like, yeah, that's why I wanted the hair restoration procedure. Because back then, I saw what was going on with my hairline. You can see it, right? So if you want to keep your hair, and maybe you want to shave your head. Sean, for example, shaves his head. It looks great. Maybe you want to keep your hair. I've talked to, over the years, so many people that hear me talking about the Morgan Stern hair restoration team. And they say, like, hey, is it real? Are the results real? Can you connect me with the hair team over there? And I've done it for countless people, including a listener that reached out a couple weeks ago. I connected them to Lisa over on the hair team at Morgan Stern and connected him. He's coming in for a consultation. They think they know the direction they're going in because this just isn't about a hair transplant. There's a lot of other things like a free Amated treatment. It's non-invasive, painless, no needles, and it's going to support your hair. So if you're starting to lose your hair, you can keep it, and you can keep it with the experts in the industry, the most success, the same team that did my hair, Morgan Stern Hair Restoration, over 30 years of experience. And right now, if you book a hair transplant, you're going to get a free Amated treatment with your procedure. That's $1,000 for free. Call them, 610-831-HAIR, 610-831-HAIR, or visit morgansternhair.com. That's Morgan with an E, morgansternhair.com.
The Sixers are in a
with Marks and Ray Dunn back from assignment down in sunny Tampa. And I bet this gentleman right here wishes he was in sunny Tampa right now because it is cold, it is dark, and it must be a tough team to cover right now. Covering the 76ers and much more for On Pattison is our old buddy Bob Cooney, and he joins us right now. Hello, Bob.
Good morning, boys. What's going on?
Oh, man. We go into the game last night, and you hear Oubre's not playing. You already know Embiid's not playing. And it's like, okay, just like keep it close. Keep it close. We know the Spurs are a much better team, and not only did they not keep it close, they got like the doors blown off in the second quarter. The third quarter was even worse, and it really just you thought it since the McCain trade, but really it's like, okay, the McCain trade really kind of sunk this team, and whatever thoughts that the guys had about making a little run in the playoffs, then Embiid gets injured. It felt like it was over at that point. Do you agree?
It was a weird dynamic. I mean, if you're a player, how do you go through it? One, he was wildly popular in the locker room. So that hurts you, right? You're losing a friend. You're losing a guy that they perceive as a really good guy, a good friend. That hurts. Two, what did you trade him for?
Yeah.
You traded him for these assets. So my first thought, and I'm sure a lot of people listening, and your guys maybe, first thought is, okay, this is leading to something bigger, something else. And it doesn't. I think they got bamboozled on that. I think they made a mistake. I think they were looking to get something else, and it just didn't happen. Now, look, I said he was the fourth guard at the time on the team, but my God, you have a San Antonio Spurs team that comes in last night that is just terrific at progressing players, at developing players, at seeing talent early and developing those guys. And the Sixers just got rid of a guy who's playing really well for the best team in basketball. None of it makes sense, John, to tell you the truth. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, so I remember we had you on, and my initial reaction was, well, McCain got traded because of finances, and that was the only move that Daryl Morey could make. And then you had said, well, no, they could have made other moves. And then Morey talked about how he was trying to make a move. So normally in sports, I always thought was you make a move and then there's a corresponding move. So if you want to make a trade, all right, you're making a trade to get these draft picks, and then you're making the other trade right away. And now it's being reported that by Kevin O'Connor that Morey was trying to get Kawhi Leonard, and he really was making the trade for McCain because he thought those assets would help him make another trade. So I just I don't know what to believe. I guess that's where I currently stand, which is he really thought he was getting enough value because he probably thought he could use that in getting somebody like Kawhi Leonard. What are you hearing behind the scenes with all of this?
Well, herein lies the problem with that, okay? And even if they were looking to do that, or Morey thought he was going to get that. So you're trading Paul. You had to trade Paul George because you got a max salary, so you would have to trade Paul George and something else to try to bring Kawhi Leonard back here. It wouldn't surprise me because Daryl Morey, as we know, is always searching stars, right? The problem is your star search, it's over. Yeah. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Joel Embiid, are they bringing anybody championships? I don't think so. I mean, you could maybe pair them with others that might be able to do it, but pairing a Kawhi Leonard with a Joel Embiid who's very frequently hurt and not in the lineup, where does that get you? The problem with this team right now, John, I heard you earlier saying, like, what's the future? What does the offseason hold? The model was in the building last night of how to run a professional sports team, and that's the San Antonio Spurs. They are the ultimate culture. I'll put them above the Boston Celtics, and I put the Celtics very, very high. They are the ultimate culture organization that knows how to win, that knows when to lose, that knows how to develop players, that sees talent almost better than any other team. And that was the model that was here last night. You saw it. And last night, it's not 2 minutes into the game, and Stefan Castle is covering Tyrese Maxey, and he is in his face. Full court all the time, tugging his jersey, holding his arm, being physical with him. And look, they have like 3 or 4 guys that can do that with a Tyrese Maxey. I'll go on a limb to say they have like 3 or 4 guys that they have developed and are developing that might be as good and have as good an NBA career as a VJ Edgecombe.
Is the writing on the wall for Daryl Morey to not be back next year, in your opinion?
I don't know. I haven't been around that enough over the last few years. to say that's the case. But look, they need a model. They need to figure this out. Is the model the field? I don't think there's a win-now opportunity for the Sixers within this year, the next couple of years. You have Embiid signed until 28-29. You have, I think Paul George has a player option, 27-28. Do you use those assets for what? I mean, is the team giving up star players for Joel Embiid at this point?
No,
I don't think so.
No, you're looking to get you're looking to get draft picks, and you're looking to get contracts that aren't as long as Embiid, which is it's tough to do, Bob, because we know that he has the MVP talent. We saw this when he plays; he's unbelievable. But how many years do we need to do this to know he's not going to be available to play enough?
Yeah. So where does your focus go? It appears that Murray's focus still, if this Kawhi Leonard thing and all that, is still on win now, get stars now. Well, you know, I don't know if it's there. You have to develop something in the future. Like we're talking last night among reporters after the game about all this development players that the Spurs have that have become really, really good. And Julian Champagne, who's a guy that was with the Sixers, who they let go after playing just 2 games. Spurs grab him in 2 days, and now he's averaging like 22 minutes a game and 11 points a game for them. He's an NBA player, a fit. Do the Sixers have that in their future? Do they have anybody that they develop? We're talking, last night during the game. Look who you're trying to develop on the Sixers. I mean, God bless him. A Dominic Barlow. God bless him. But there's a reason the Spurs let him go. You know? Jabari Walker.
Justin Edwards.
Trent Watford. I mean, love them. Like, I really do appreciate how hard these guys play. But are they NBA players that you're really, building the future with? So they have to have some kind of a balance of, okay, either we're trying to win with star players, or it's time to look to the future and try to grow some young, good players.
Bob, I'm curious. Looking at Nick Nurse and looking at the way they play basketball at this juncture, defensively, the way you watch night in, night out, that he has this team play, whether offensively not finding a role for Jared McCain or defensively selling out, trying to create turnovers, is Nick Nurse and the way that he plays basketball conducive for this group, or is that somewhere else they might also be looking for a change this offseason?
Well, who you building around with this group, right? It's definitely Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. How are they at their best? Yeah, they're at their best moving and running. I always struggle with knowing from being around the game for a long time, having coached and been around coaches and all. A lot of times, your last resort when you don't think you have anything is, all right, let's run. Let's create havoc on defense. I'm not saying that's what Nick Nurse is doing. It is his style in the past, especially defensively, to look to create havoc on the defensive side of the basketball. And when you have 2 fast and good moving and hard driving and good shooting guards, like they do in Edgecombe and Maxey, okay, it lends itself to kind of play like that. But then what do you have after that if you're going to run like that? You're going to wait on a Joel Embiid offensively, which is okay. I mean, the Lakers did that in Showtime with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he was only the leading scorer in all of basketball for 40 years. So, you can have a good running team and then wait for your 7-2 guy to come down and feed him the basketball. But when he's not in that lineup, are you really conducive to get out and run all the time or to have this scrambling defense all the time with what you have out there? It's a hard balance that Nick Nurse has to figure out, and they really haven't so far yet this year.
All right, check it out right now on Pattison.com. Bob has a fresh story on the Sixers and the Spurs. The basketball model is one the Sixers would be wise and try to emulate. The problem, Bob, is that if you're going to tear it down to the studs that you have are 2 really good young guards, but then you need to build after that. So 76ers fans that endured the process, now you're looking at, all right, we need to rebuild. And I'm okay with it, but it also means it's going to take a couple of years to do that if you're going to do it right. And everything needs to change, man. Everything needs to change.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the model, and this is what I wrote that you just mentioned, John. The San Antonio Spurs had a winning record 22 straight seasons, won 5 NBA championships during that time. Took them all the way up to the 18-19 season. They had 6 losing seasons in a row. Got some really good draft picks, obviously Wemby, and you got Harper this year with the 2nd pick and all of that. You got some good picks, but you also developed like a 29th pick. You also got guys from the scrap heap and made them into really good NBA players. It's not easy to do. It's not, and it takes patience do you have a president of basketball operations in Daryl Morey that has patience? His track record says no, because he's always shooting for stars, which I'm not going to disagree with. I mean, if it works, it's great. Is that the proper model to move forward? I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. Bob, great stuff, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
Hold on, real quick, guys. Are you taking applications for shootout? Is that what I heard?
Ooh,
knockout?
Are you kidding me?
Or knockout?
We could get Bob.
Shootout, knockout?
We could get Bob on the team.
No, I'm not playing. I'm absolutely not. I will just say on my application, I never, in my high school and college career of playing, I never missed a 3-point shot.
I heard that about you. 100%.
Was it 100%?
Well, 0% because we didn't have a 3-point line when I played.
I was going to say.
Well, that's also 100% if you didn't miss it, right? Oh, there he is.
But Ray might know that I have a candidate in mind, and he knows who he is. And
Should
he's a baller.
Should I shoot him a text right now? Should I get Kyle on the team?
You might want to, Ray. You might want to.
Midday Show holds the rights to Kyle Cooney. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Okay. All right.
That's right. Yeah. You're negotiating with his agent right here. So.
All right, Bob. We'll send you a text.
All right, guys. Be good.
All right, buddy. You got it, man. Bob Cooney.
Kyle's a bucket. That's
all right. He's in.
All right.
Not for today, but he's in. We got plenty of these. All right.
That's good.
All right.
I'll shoot him a text right now.
Coming up, we got to talk about A.J. Brown. Adam Schefter's latest on A.J. Brown from this morning. Mike Garafolo on the price tag. A lot of information as free agency starts next week. And where am I today? Yesterday, I was 70% he's getting traded. It has changed, Ray Dunn. We updated coming up next. Middays of Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Beaten by the Spurs, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Spurs came to town last night, beat the 76ers by 40 points, 131-291. The Sixers trailed by as much as 49 points at the end of the third quarter. VJ Edgecombe did not play the second half with back soreness after taking a tough fall. Now the 76ers have turned their attention tonight to the Jazz. They play once again at Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We're less than a week away from NFL free agency. Plenty going on in the way of the Birds off season. Adam Schefter of ESPN joined the morning show today, gave his latest thoughts on A.J. Brown.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet a dollar today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not. But
we'll talk to James Palmer coming up at 1 o'clock about what he thinks the future holds for Brown and the Birds. Spring training continues down in Clearwater for the Phillies today. They've got Team Canada at 1:05. This update is brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes, better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn at your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app. Hate's a little strong.
Oh, he's just overrated. He's a fraud. I don't want to relitigate that.
But he's not anyone's favorite. If he's your favorite Disney character, you don't have one.
Well, I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
He's just the stupid ears is the reason why he's considered the foundation of Disney. No other reason.
Right. And he's got the whole logo thing. Like he doesn't need to be your favorite. He's Disney's favorite. He won. Mickey Mouse won at life. Pick someone else as your favorite character.
He was born on third base.
Right.
By Walt Disney.
For sure. Absolutely. if to be fair though, if you do like Mickey over everyone else, you don't have takes on anything.
I agree. Yeah, no, you're 2 years old and you don't know anything different.
Right. It's fine. You can wear the Mickey ears. But if you wear the Mickey ears and someone says, "Oh, what's your favorite Disney character?"
No, it's a symbol of Disney. It has nothing
Right.
actually to do with Mickey.
Yeah, he's fine.
Well,
He's a system character.
You're right.
If you don't have the characters around him, forget it. There's nothing special there about Mickey Mouse.
He offers nothing. So for the knockout, Bob Cooney threw his son's hat in for the knockout tournament. We got a bunch of voice text. So voice text us why you should win the Sixers tickets and the spot in the knockout tournament. We'll start reviewing some of them coming up. But again, our text line 610-632-0975. Just send us a voice text, as we explained earlier, or Google it if you didn't hear me do it earlier, and send us a voice text. At 1:30, we decide who the winner is. All right, we got a bunch already, which is cool. So keep sending them in. Adam Schefter, his usual Wednesday morning with the morning show, and we knew he was going to be asked about A.J. Brown. Here is Adam Schefter, his thoughts on A.J. Brown and being traded, et cetera.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet $1 today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not. But could we hear about a trade next year? Absolutely. Absolutely. Teams keep calling. Teams are being told the price is high. Is there going to be a team like a Buffalo or a New England that steps out there? I just don't think that Philly wants to trade him. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to get traded. I think the player would prefer to be traded. That's what I think. And so, is the player going to talk to them? Are they going to listen to the player? Is the player's agent going to get involved? These things are very complicated and nuanced.
Oh, yeah, very complicated. I can barely even have the conversation right. Very complicated. A.J. Brown, is the price tag too high? It is. Because this is a negotiation. Last week is last week. This week is this week. Next week is next week. The price is going to go down. So when the Eagles say, and Albert Breer reported the Eagles are asking for a first rounder and another top 100 pick, as a couple of Patriot reporters, Andrew Callahan, who I actually know, he had reported that the Patriots' response to what the Eagles are asking is that it's an unserious price tag, which I think everybody kind of knows. So you know what's going to happen over the weekend maybe when Howie's having conversations? They're not asking for 2 first-round draft picks or a first-round draft pick or a second-round draft pick. It's a matter of what the Eagles are willing to settle for to make the trade. All right? Will the Eagles lower the price tag? Of course they will. So Zach Berman had said, quote, there's a growing sentiment that a change is on the table. He said multiple AFC teams are interested. And just to note, the Chargers pick 22nd, the Bills pick 26th, the Broncos pick 30th, and the Patriots pick 31st. So yesterday, I was 70% he's getting traded. There's been some movement, some line movement. 80% he's getting traded now. And Schefter thinks it's the other way around. Here's why I think he's getting traded. He's the one that wants to get traded. And the Eagles, I think, are saying, well, we don't have to trade him, and we're comfortable not trading him. But is that really what's best for the team? If we can get a first-round draft pick, the Eagles aren't going to trade him for a third-round draft pick or for a second-round draft pick. They're just not. But if someone slides in with that first-round draft pick, I think they trade him. And one of these teams would be foolish not to do it, right?
One of these teams would be foolish, absolutely not to do it, which is why I'm continuing to advocate for him being an Eagle, because I think you'd be dumb to get rid of him. But I understand why you would get rid of him. I understand the factors that are at play, which is why a team should swoop in and make this deal. I'm just curious the timeline on this. Because you say, like, this weekend, does he back off of this? Does Howie look at this as like, all right, well, there's going to be the dead cap if we get rid of him before June 1st. Am I just going to sit this out? If you don't give me the offer I want, then over the summer, someone will, once it doesn't impact me as much this season?
You know what I've seen written a lot? Sure, you have the cap hit. You also have cash savings. So they're saving his salary. They're saving the money, which they always use the line cash over cap. So they're able to manipulate the cap by putting all the cash out. Jeffrey Lurie pays a lot of money, a lot more than most NFL owners do, if not the most.
Right.
And he's able to do that. They're able to sign the players they have because they're able to manipulate the cap. This gives them cash savings over that, which I do think, is it important? Well, it's important if you want to spend money to re-sign Phillips and some other guys. You have Jordan Davis coming up. You have Jalen Carter coming up. You have big bills that are coming up. So I think that helps. To me, the Brandon Lee Gouton had said it. He thinks he's being traded. He still says that there's no way he's coming back because the player, if we use our eyes and our ears and not pay attention to anything else, does A.J. Brown want to be here?
I can hear the fan right now that's, probably still wearing their Eagles gear.
The answer is no.
But I can hear the fan right now in their car that's rocking their Eagles gear. Like, I heard him say he loves Philadelphia. I heard him.
He did.
I was right there when he said it, of this is cliche city that he's talking about with the Eagles, and I think he's playing good soldier here. I think he was calculated then, and I think he's going to be calculated to the end here. I don't think he really has a ton of interest in being a Philadelphia Eagle, given that I think he doesn't have faith in
the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Schefter, now he's saying that A.J. Brown probably doesn't want to be here or however he termed it, and it's well, why is that? Nobody actually wants to say it. Everybody just wants to beat around the bush. And then I know Schefter had said before, well, it's not really any surprise. Whatever. Well, then say it. They come out and say why A.J. Brown doesn't want to be here. It's not an elephant in the room. He doesn't have great chemistry with Jalen Hurts on the field. He doesn't think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Isn't that obvious? His frustrations with the offense, this isn't new. It's a matter of what are other teams willing to pay to get him. Ray, what is the lowest amount that you would take for A.J. Brown? I actually don't know. The problem with the teams that want him are picking at the end of the round. So if they say we're not giving you a first, we're going to give you a second, do I want a bottom of the second round pick for A.J. Brown? That's not enough. I agree. So then do you do second round pick and player? Would you do second round pick and then a fourth round pick? Do you do a pick swap of the first round and then you get an additional pick from that? So now you'd probably be picking before these teams anyway. But do you get creative to try to make the move? Or is there a team out there that's willing to say, hey, like the Chargers, we'll give you number 22. Or the Bills, we'll give you number 26. So
that's the line I'm drawing in the sand right now.
Here's what I think happens. There's a couple of names in free agency with wide receivers like Mike Evans. If the Bills strike out with getting one of the other guys, because let's keep it real. You'd rather sign a player that's maybe not the caliber of A.J. Brown, but not give up a first-round draft pick.
Right.
So if you think you can get Mike Evans, all right, we have Mike Evans. We keep our first-round draft pick. We only have to pay Mike Evans, and we still have our pick. The Eagles showed that it's worth it just to get the known commodity, which they did. Mike Evans is, he played a lot of games for a long time, and wheels kind of fell off last year. So I think they can still get a bottom of the first-round pick. They're not going to get much more than that, and I do believe Howie asking price drops. But once some of these wide receivers end up in spots, I think that's where you get the pivot of, all right, let's make a deal. The price drops. Let's say the Bills are now willing to trade the first-round draft pick, and that's when a deal happens. I think a deal happens. The fact that it's been reported that A.J. Brown's camp, his agents were going around the combine and more or less trying to find a spot for him that he wants to go to that makes sense for both sides. And then they're pitching, well, here's why you want to do it. And then they have to make a deal with the team. But that tells you all you need to know. At this point, I think the Eagles know that the best move is probably to move on from A.J. Brown just based on what he wants. So you make the move. All right, where are you? What percentage?
I'm still 55, 60 in the fact that he goes. I still think there's a world he comes back because they look at what they're getting offered back for him. They say the value doesn't match.
If the market's not there, they won't trade him.
Right. And I think there's a chance that it doesn't get there because there are probably teams that are skeptical of, all right, what was going on in Philadelphia? If we end up bringing him in here, fresh start be great for him. Right. But here's this contract that you're going to have to fit into your cap space. You're going to fit into your role. And you've seen now, he said he wasn't fulfilled by a Super Bowl. That's tough. That's tough.
It's tough to beat that.
Yeah. He wants his numbers. And if you're the Bills, you're like, wait a second, didn't we have Josh Allen paired with a wide receiver that wanted his numbers and things didn't go so great? If you're the Patriots, we got this group, could we go and add someone that isn't going to cost us a first-round pick to a Super Bowl team where we already know what we have chemistry-wise? I know you mentioned it on Monday. I forget who it was up at Sports Hub that was like, oh, don't bring him anywhere near this team. Like, I think if I'm an opposing fan base, what I'm saying is, please bring this guy to my team. But if I'm inside an NFL front office, I'm sure there's a lot of questions I'm asking before I'm like, yeah, first round pick, Howie Roseman, you take it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you want to get a deal done, then you make an offer you know they're probably going to take.
Right.
You can try to say, like, well, no, we'll give you a second, and then we'll swip, like a third for a third or a fourth. Like, you can do that, or you could say, I want the player. Howie got the player. And it goes down in Philadelphia sports history as one of the best trades ever.
Yeah.
They've been in 2 Super Bowls, and they won 1, and A.J. has been absolutely phenomenal. It's been great.
Arguably the best in franchise history.
Man, it's been everything that you could have hoped for and more, and now I feel like it's the perfect time to pivot and move on. You had the success. You can still get value back. He's clearly not happy. See, I don't think that A.J., like you had mentioned, Diggs wanted the ball, and Diggs was mad, and that was a chemistry issue with Josh Allen. I think with A.J., it's more about, he wants his yards, and he wants it, but he thinks that's the best way to win. It's not him necessarily being selfish. It's him being like, this is the kind of wide receiver I am. This is how you should be feeding me. Throw me the freaking ball. And that's something that, again, Devontae Smith catches the touchdown, comes back to the bench, and says, just throw the bleeping ball. What about Kevin Patullo? It's about the quarterback.
Oh, I mean, do you think Diggs just wants the ball to get the ball, or Diggs also believe the ball going in his hands would be for the best for that team to win?
I mean, it's a decent point, but he's also in New England, and like I've heard the same thing about Diggs leaving Buffalo that I hear about AJ, which is Diggs is actually a good dude. It's just that you know how wide receivers are. This is the way wide receivers are. Oh, like AJ wants the ball. And guess what? Josh Allen should be looking for a guy that wants the ball like that, especially early. That first year that A.J. Brown, if he was to go to the Bills, the pop that offense would have and A.J. Brown would have, you're talking about the 1,500 or 1,600-yard year.
Absolutely, which is why you should want to make that move. I just look at the other side. Like, I look at, okay, why wouldn't the front office give up the first-round pick for it? Like, why won't the Eagles get what they want? They might give up the first-round pick, but if he's going to end up back here, it's going to be because I don't think they get enough value for him. And I'm trying to figure out why a front office wouldn't do that. And the list that I would go down there is, hey, we are going to be giving up a lot. Like, this could be a lot of money to pay a receiver. This receiver a year ago looked disinterested on the field. Is there a chance he comes in here and looks at the way we want to go about offense and says, this isn't how I do it. I want something else. Off the jump, I think you're right. Off the rip, I think that happens. But I think people that are trying to protect their jobs might not take the big swing. Like you said, the Eagles took the big swing to go get A.J. Brown. It's one of the best trades out there. There's a reason why Howie Roseman has outmaneuvered most of this league. Most of this league consists of cowards. Really, when it comes down to it, they manage and they make trades in a way that, and I'll quote Moneyball here. I apologize for using the Moneyball quote, but they manage in a way that they can explain in a job interview in 3 years. They don't want to step out and take the chance. So I don't think this is a big risk, but I think in an NFL front office where they look at, hey, can we build a roster here? Some of them might look at it and say, this much money for a wide receiver that's getting close to 30 that we saw dip in production and become a bit of a sideshow for someone else, maybe not for us.
Broncos, Cortland Sutton, I've seen mentioned.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So you get Sutton, and then I don't know what draft pick you're not going to get the first-round pick and Sutton.
Right.
Sutton's
good.
But
Sutton's solid.
Yeah, Sutton's good, but he's also making some cash. I don't need to pay a guy a lot of money that's good.
Well, yeah, that fits into the whole Howie Roseman middle class conversation.
Right.
Where he's not going to pay a guy he either pays someone on a rookie deal or a bargain hunting, or he's going to pay you big money.
Well, dude, they're going to have to pay somebody in free agency. Maybe even if A.J. Brown stays. They're going to get somebody. The problem when you don't draft and develop is you don't have inexpensive options to fill in and say, like, all right, like Milton Williams, when he became a starter, even though he wasn't a full-time starter, he split time with Jordan Davis. The fact that he wasn't a first-round draft pick or a free agent is unbelievable, the production he had.
For sure. I mean, and it's been amazing what they've been able to do to fill in at the margins. That's why when you go to a Super Bowl twice in a matter of 5 years, you've obviously done something right in free agency. And that's a bigger question for this free agency. Like, we saw the Super Bowl year, they went 1 for 2. Yeah. Like, they struck out big time on Huff, but they hit the greatest home run they possibly could have with Saquon Barkley. If we think they can get back there next year, where's the big swing come this year?
And also yesterday, Dallas Goedert. And it's interesting because Howie's been very honest about the A.J. Brown situation and with the Dallas Goedert situation. So I don't know who had it yesterday, but someone came out and said that Howie said, or the report is that the Eagles are definitely interested in bringing him back. It's just a matter of kind of what the market is. And I believe that. I don't know if Dallas Goedert's going to find the deal out there that he wants, but he might find the deal that the Eagles say, yeah, that's probably not smart to match that or to beat it. Just based on not what he did last year, but the injury history previous years to that.
Yeah. If you put him in the vacuum, 31-year-old wide receiver who had a career year and has battled injuries before, if it wasn't Dallas Goedert, 95% of our audience would be like, nah, I'm good, thanks.
Well, you'll take him for a good deal.
Right, you'll take him for a good deal.
You're not going to overpay him.
Is he going to get more than what you anticipate?
Here's the problem. They don't have any tight ends on their roster.
Correct. No,
they're going to have to pay. When you look at the price tag for some of these other tight ends that aren't Dallas Goedert, you're still talking about $10 million.
Right.
So if you're gonna pay a I don't know, an Isaiah Likely or a Hawkinson $8 million or something like that, and Goddard's making 12, I don't know. Like, aren't you? You know what Goddard's going to bring to the table. You know him.
I've got bargain bin for you that I don't think is going to be your tight end one, but I'd be interested to see if they go down this path in free agency. Higbee's a free agent from the Rams.
Yeah, I saw. I had the list. I got to pull it up right here. No, but that's also the thing. Mannion's coming in. He runs the Sean McVay offense. Sean McVay runs a ton of 3 tight ends, and it doesn't even matter who they are. They always seem to catch touchdowns. And Higbee's a free agent, so you bring Higbee in. What does he look like in this offense? He looks pretty good in that McVay offense, but he's not. They're also not catching a lot of passes.
Right. I mean, he's 33. He's had his injury issues himself, so it's not. I'm not saying you sign him in. It's like, you know what? This is your Dallas Goedert replacement. 11 touchdowns, 600 yards, 60 catches. No, but he's a part of the solution there, and he can actually block, which is something they certainly could use some help in the tight end room, looking back at last season. So that's one option for
Darren
you.
Waller.
Oh, God.
Foster Moreau.
If Waller comes here, are we required to play the single that he wrote?
Yes.
Every week? That could be play the song. Darren Waller scores a touchdown, play the song.
Play the damn song, Ray. Austin Hooper, who actually had a pretty good season with the Patriots last year. Higbee, Connor Hayward, Noah Fant, Daniel Bellinger of the Giants. Yeah, that's the kind of guy you're looking for. There's also, in this tier of free agents, there's this guy, Grant Calcaterra.
Oh, really?
Maybe you want to bring him back or not.
Yeah. I heard he's got good chemistry with Jalen Hurts, going back to their college days.
Donald Parham Jr. Yeah, you're looking at, there's a lot of names out there. So now you're going to be bringing in a bunch of names and hope somebody sticks. Who do they have on the roster right now that's a tight end if Goddard leaves?
No one.
Well, they have the guy who's also a fullback. He's more of an H-back than a tight end.
Van Sumeren we got talking? Or are we talking Latu?
Yeah, Latu.
That's right. Yeah,
Latu.
Sorry. They got so many of the fullbacks they brought in. We got 2 different fullbacks in the year 2025. How awesome.
Yeah, this is great. Be curious to see how they fill, because you get rid of A.J. Brown, all right, that's a hole that you have to fill. Now you got a tight end hole that you have to fill as well. I see too many people talking about kind of a step-back year for the Eagles. I can guarantee you this. They do not view this as a step-back year.
And those a part of this year will not be judged as if they're expecting a step back.
Yeah.
They will not be judging
core values
on whether or not he is expected to have a fallback year.
Line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the fans.
My notes.
I'm sure the fans would be fine if there was they stepped back a little bit or they stayed the same because they were regrouping and getting Cap healthy.
You know what?
Etc.
Let's bank the show sheet tomorrow. We'll open up. Everyone, we're going to hit you with the Men in Black right here. You forgot this conversation ever happened tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Are you okay with the step back year?
And that's in my notes.
Coming up, we have our Phillies segment with Johan Rojas. All right, we finally found out he really is suspended. Also, Vegas is telling you that the Phillies may not be as good as we had hoped. There's a big win drop in the over-under for wins that we'll tell you about as well. And the weird Rojas thing. Also, World Baseball Classic. Harper looking pretty good in the 2-hole. Is that something we can expect coming up in the regular season? That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Tough night, South Philly. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And it was a tough one for the 76ers last night. They lose by 40 to the San Antonio Spurs, 131-91 last night. Trailed by 49 points at the end of the third quarter. VJ Edgecombe didn't play in the second half with back soreness, took a hard fall early in the game. 76ers now turn their attention to the Jazz tonight. That game also at Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can listen to it right here on the Fanatic. We're less than a week away from NFL free agency. Adam Schefter joined the morning show earlier today, gave his latest thoughts on A.J. Brown.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet a dollar today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not.
We'll talk to NFL insider James Palmer coming up at 1 o'clock at what he believes will happen with A.J. Brown and look ahead to a little bit of free agency for the Eagles. Spring training action continues today with the Phillies facing Team Canada. That game at 1:05. This update is brought to you by Odoo.com. All your business apps in one place. Running business is hard enough. Odoo makes it easier with one simple, all-in-one platform. Start today at Odoo.com. ODOO.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
The Aha Take on Me is
one of my favorite one-hit wonders for sure.
Yeah, it's a good playlist so far today.
Hilarious though, driving in today, and the way they're giving away the Sixers tickets this morning. One-hit wonders.
Really?
Yeah, one-hit wonder Wednesday. Yeah.
So what did they do? Have people call them with their favorite one?
They got people guessing them. Text line.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun bit. I'm enjoying they did the instrumental the other day on Monday on my way in. I'm listening to the instrumentals, and I realized that I need lyrics badly for music to understand what's being played.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
There's only a few instrumentals I think I would nail off the rip the way they were going.
Huh. All right. Well, we do have Sixers tickets. Can we have Nate edit some of those so we can start playing some?
He's working on them.
Okay. So if you want to win the tickets in the knockout spot for today to represent Middays with Marks at the knockout tournament, we're asking you to text us why we should select you. Not just text us, voice text us. 610-632-0975. Put us in your phone as the Fanatic, and then go to like you're sending us a text. Hit that little plus button if you have an iPhone, and audio will come up. You hit the audio button, and then then you just record what you want to say. So tell us why you should be who we select today. It's that simple. All right. Are you excited for the World Baseball Classic there, Ray Diggity Dunn?
I am. I enjoy it.
I do too.
It's a terrifying proposition with the pitchers being out there that are on my team, but other than that, I'm a big fan.
Well, also, I can watch a non-USA game and care as much as I watch a USA game.
Now, I understand this is a little bit of a scorcher right here. Team USA, I'll watch. Obviously, I'm American. But, like, some of the other teams, I'm a little more interested because the crowds are a little more interested.
They're crazy, yeah.
And when I watch that makes it a little bit more fun. Like, everyone going nuts when Juan Soto hits a home run. Hits a little different than the,
Are you rooting for the D.C. or the DR, Dominican Republic?
I want Team USA to win. Let's not get carried away.
No. Outside of USA. We're going to say that, qualify that. We obviously want USA to win. Are you a Team Venezuela?
I would probably get down with the Dominican team. I feel like that would probably
Chris
be the
Sanchez
one.
is.
Yeah. I feel like that's a fun team. That's the other thing. Like the pride that so many like these players take in representing their country. Like I'm enjoying that. So yeah, I'm in on that.
Yeah, the DC they have a good team.
We have a good club.
Yep.
I think honestly they have a
Deep team.
for sure. Now for America,
we got a really good club.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that group.
So here's the quandary for today. By the way, Bryce Harper had 2 hits yesterday. He batted second. That lineup stacked for the United States. Jesus. Schwarber batted fourth. He had a walk and a strikeout 0 for 2. Harper had 2 hits batting in the 2-hole, which is interesting. Today, the Phillies in spring training take on Team Canada. Now, Topper being a Canadian, what does he do? Does he go for the jugular and try to punish Team Canada? Or does he say, hey, my guys need a good game? What do you think?
No, I think he's got to go after them here. You're a professional. You know, I understand country's there, but you got to go after them today. You got to, honestly, you're doing them a service by getting them ready. This should be the A team for whoever's left in Clearwater. Should be the A team against Canada. You should try and stick it to them.
So here's the starting lineup for today, and here's why it caught my eye. Because they actually have a good Aaron Nola's pitching. It's Turner, Realmuto, Bohm, Garcia hitting 4th, Stoddy batting 5th, Brian De La Cruz, who might have made the roster just because Rojas is going to be suspended. More on that in the second. Batting 6th. Batting 7th and playing center field, Johan Rojas.
What?
Who's appealing his suspension. And but he still gets to play until he appeals the suspension. So he's not on the World Baseball Classic. I was getting people that were wagging their finger at me because I was mentioning the suspension, the possible suspension, even with giving the context of this isn't confirmed. This hasn't been reported from Jeff Passan, but a Latino reporter said that he tested positive for PEDs. You can't say that. You can't even say that on the air. It's like, okay, well, the Phillies aren't saying it's not true. Rojas isn't saying it's not true.
First time anything's ever been speculated on sports talk radio ever.
But even with saying like, all right, we don't know this for sure, but it's kind of like I haven't seen the Phillies say this isn't true. So it is true. It's now being confirmed by the big guys. So anyway, he does play today, Johan Rojas.
Which, I mean, he's going to be punished by the league. I guess he's still part of the organization, but what does this help anyone in spring training? Like, who does this help him playing?
I mean, I guess it just lets him play. And then they need bodies? I don't know.
I guess maybe, yeah, that might be the best answer. They need bodies.
He's got to go sit for 80 games, so don't you just kind of tell him to go home now? I guess they can't.
Right.
They can also not play him.
They could just not play him.
But, like, putting him out there, what does it really matter? Thompson's going to have to answer questions about it regardless.
So,
yep.
Yeah, if you're Thompson, you're just sitting there like, are you kidding me? I had to do the whole we have a good club PR run all off season, and now I got to answer about a third performance enhancing suspension over the last calendar year.
Here's why I think it's interesting that he's playing. Doesn't he get to be interviewed by the media then? He should be taking questions either before or after the game. He has to. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to address it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they feel like it's best. We saw how it happened with Alvarado. He packed up his stuff and skipped town, and people had reaction to that. So maybe they're like, you know what, Rojas?
Well, I want to hear the. I didn't know it was a mistake. I took some supplement that my cousin gave me, and I thought it was just muscle milk.
You've been doing this longer than me, so you might remember a time. Has there ever been a time where they were like, yeah, I knew I was cheating.
There might have been one at the moment where they got caught.
Right.
I think there was maybe one. I don't know if it was a baseball player, but somebody had to have said, yep,
got me.
I got caught.
Like, I'd almost respect it more.
I would too.
If Rojas was like, yeah, I got sent down to AAA, and I was like, you know what? I want my career to work out here. I don't want to do the swing adjustments that Kevin Long and the Phillies suggested. I want to hit dingers, man. I want to be a guy that swipes 30 and hits 30 bombs. And I wanted to put a little bit of, juice in the system here.
It's a guy that isn't even guaranteed to be a major leaguer.
Right.
And everybody should see why, the reasoning behind it. Max Kepler was trying to, I guess it was during the season last year with Kepler that he was doing it. He was close to getting released.
The splits would suggest there was a very definitive time in which he started doing it.
Agreed. Totally agree. All right, and then what's the? So the win drop. I gotta pull this up right now. So I don't know. So this is from when the line opened, which was probably when did the win losses open? The line, right after the season or not long after the season. All right, so the Phillies opened up. They're over/under win totals for the season. And this is at least on, I'm a BetParks guy. This was on BetMGM. They opened up 92.5 wins. It has went down. How many wins do you believe it has went down, Ray Dunn? What do you believe the current one is now?
I'd say they're sitting 88.5.
89.5. So the Yankees went down 3, 93.5 to 90.5. The Phillies have went down 3 as well to 89.5. And then actually the Blue Jays did. So the Phillies tied with 3 other teams for the most win-loss decreases, at least with the odds. And ultimately this may not mean anything. But it does kind of tell you what people think of the team this year, which is Mets, Braves, and the Braves had they lost a player for Profar's gone for the year, another loss. They're so doomed.
Did you see the Heyman tweet about him? This was one of the greatest things because this is a 162. So obviously he's been caught before. And you're right with the Braves. Like, it just kind of feels like they're having another one of those years after a couple of those years. Jurickson Profar is an excellent candidate for the Mount Rushmore of baseball cheats. If he had any integrity, he'd return the half year of pay he got last year.
Yeah.
There are insiders that will not criticize anyone for fear they'll lose information. Heyman just being like, you know what? At 9:06 on a Tuesday night, I'm just going to launch into the fact that I don't like Jurickson Profar and I want you all to know about it is awesome.
Top rope.
I appreciated it.
Yep. Yeah, the one time, all right. The second time, now you're. The fact that he only loses a year is pretty interesting. What's the third? You lose 2 years? I don't know.
I think that at that point you're out, right? Like,
you should be.
Like, it's just like, all right, man. Thanks for trying. Like, we're not going to extend your career anymore.
Now, did he take the wrong supplement for the second time?
Yeah.
Didn't learn his lesson after one?
This is the one where you don't make him available to the media because you're just like, you go hide for.
Go home for a year. Nobody cares now.
Yeah, we're not going to talk to you.
All right, Bryce Harper in the 2-hole. I believe it's happening, and it's independent of what's going on in the World Baseball Classic. I think Harper in the 2-hole is going to happen. Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Boom, or sometimes Garcia, whatever it is. Do you agree? That's where it goes?
If he's going to play about lineup protection, yeah, bat him second. But he said for so long he wants to bat third. It's just funny. Now he puts on the stars and the stripes. He wears number 24. He's batting second.
Well, you can justify that with the roster that they have.
You can justify it with this roster.
Well, you don't have a cleanup hitter, though.
You Bryce Harper.
No, I mean, I'm just saying to make, if you want to change the dynamic of this lineup, the only thing you can really do right now is to swap Harper and Schwarber. Otherwise, running it back with what you had last year, you're going to have Harper up there with knowing Bohm's on deck or Garcia's in deck. You got to try to change something, man. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. All right, in the latest episode of the Phillies show, the guys were asked, are the Phillies doomed to run it back forever? Kind of like the Sixers. Who is it a make or break year for? We'll talk about that coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
You never stop thinking about Phillies sports.
instrumental. This is a good one.
This is a good one. This is the quick scan of like, oh, what's one I haven't played before?
I don't know why, but this reminds me of driving to Penn State right when I got out of high school. Maybe there was some radio station that I was able to get in Pennsylvania that would play this. Or no, what was it? No, it wasn't this. It was Electric Avenue. There's an Electric Avenue exit on 322, and there's the song that's not Funky Town, it's Electric. It's similar. You know Electric Avenue?
Oh, yeah.
Got to rock down to Electric Avenue?
Yeah. Electric, yeah.
All right, maybe that's the next
Maybe that's the next one. Do we know who wrote Electric Avenue? Does it make it a one-hit wonder if we can't name the artist?
Yes, that's what makes it a one-hit wonder.
All right, yeah, I'm in on that one.
All right.
That drive to Penn State's one of the more interesting
I like
you'll
it.
ever take. Oh, I like it.
I used to stop at the truck stop just because I was never at a truck stop before. You know the truck stop I'm talking about? I don't know. It's probably like an hour, probably like halfway through the...
Well, I know halfway up there, there's the two strip clubs that are on either side of the street.
Oh, I'm talking about 30 years ago when I probably been there.
I've always thought that was funny, that was obviously a place where someone that was trucking for a long time needed to stop and needed to regain a little bit of focus on life.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And
you had two options.
And the lot lizards at the truck stop weren't doing anything for you. And you go there. Yeah, I was just amazed because the truck stop's on 322 and it's like the one lane part of it. Mm-hmm. And I would go in because I need to take a leak. I have a weak bladder and I wanted to get some food or whatever. And it's like, wow, you can like buy a room for like this. It's not even like a room. It's just like I don't even know what for 3 hours, and you can take a shower and you can like lay down for a little bit. It's like, wow, this is really interesting. I never saw anything like this.
You know who? I think it was Connor that was telling me that he always thought he could be a good trucker. I think I could probably pull that off. The travel, the moving around. I think the long days might be what would get me.
Well, Connor looks like a trucker.
Yeah, for sure. If there was one guy here at the station that would take off and be a trucker, it's obviously Connor. I think he nailed that one 100%. But I think I could pull that life off.
All right, Eddie Grant is the Electric Avenue person. Violations, Greg checks in with that. He said Eddie Grant rules.
Oh, okay. So
I'm like, that must be the Electric Avenue guy.
Yeah, one-hit wonder.
There you go. For sure. All right, so it's the doom to run it back forever. When I think of the Sixers and what they're going to do, I feel doomed that they're going to run it back forever. They're not going to move on from Joel Embiid because either they can't because no one will take the contract, or they won't because they think it's still the best way to win. So are the Phillies doomed to run this back forever? Now, I don't look at it that way. I don't know about you, Ray. We're going to play what the Phillies guys, the Phillies show said. Let's play it, and then we'll talk about it. Here is Todd and Jim Salisbury and Ruben talking about it.
Does there seem to be any get it done or blow it up type mentality amongst the players or even the front office like there was in 1980? Or are we doomed to, quote, run it back forever?
I don't sense there's a mentality in the room. We got to get it done now or we're all out of here, because they're not all going to be out of here because there's a lot of long-term deals. But I think we all know that if it doesn't come to fruition this year, then there will be some corners of that roster that they can shake up, and I do believe they will shake more things up than they have this year or last.
And that's Jim Salisbury at the end. I just don't know what you do. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense because I hear that and I'm thinking about, okay, boom, that's the obvious one. Like, it's been telegraphed to everyone in the world that Alec Boehm will not be a part of the Phillies organization beyond this year.
And he's a free agent, so you're not trading him. He just leaves because you don't want to pay him. Okay, well, but then what?
Yeah.
Marsh, maybe you're now trading because that's all right. Well, you got to add guys to the roster too.
Right. Adolis Garcia's on a 1-year contract.
Right.
So if he outperforms that contract, the chances are that you're going to pay an outfielder in his 30s that just had a breakout year, his first good year since 2023. Probably not. So you're probably going after, like, the corners of the roster, I feel like, are very logical here. Boehm, and then the outfield. The only one that I could start to question, just because the Boehm profile that was written by Ken Rosenthal, the only one I could question is whether or not stop. If the Phillies look at next offseason and are like, you know what? Fool me once.
Well, does Bryce allow that trade to happen?
Ooh, does Bryce go with him all of a sudden?
And is Dombrowski around? So the Phillies, if you remember, they won 102 games, and that's when they lost to the Cardinals. That was their best regular season team and probably their best team. Lost to the Cardinals. Following year, 81-81. Following year, 73-89. And that's when, and I think you went into the next season, you're like, no, well, here's why they can still win. Jimmy's going to come back to being this, and Chase is going to be back, and this guy's going to be this, and this guy's going to be that. And everybody knew it was pretty much over. That's not this team right now. This is still a playoff team this year. It'll still be a playoff team going forward just because the owner will spend the money, and they still have really good players. Chris Sanchez is one of the best starters in baseball. I don't know what happens with Luzardo. He could end up leaving. He could get extended. Zach Wheeler's still under contract. Their bullpen's stacked. You have Andrew Painter, who looks like that he could be at least kind of what we saw before. Like, are they doomed to run it back forever? I don't look at it that they're doomed to run it back forever, but when it's over, it's going to be over. As Sugar Ray once said. When it's over, they're going to keep running it back and trying to add at the margins and put some duct tape around stuff as long as they're making the playoffs. Once they're not making the playoffs anymore, that's when it ends. And this may go through another administration. It might be a new GM and president that comes in to do it. I think that the Phillies playoff run outlives Dombrowski. I don't think Dombrowski's here for 3 more years. I'm not necessarily saying after this year.
All right, more shocked if they miss the playoffs or if Dombrowski is employed by the Phillies at the start of next spring.
Miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs. So you'd be more shocked if they miss
the playoffs. Be more shocked if they miss the playoffs. Yeah, now, if they miss the playoffs, that might mean Dombrowski's not here next spring.
Right. Yeah, two things kind of go hand in hand. The playoffs either outlive him or the playoffs be his undoing.
I can make the case how they don't make the playoffs, but still, that would be injury and real ineffectiveness. The starting pitching is going to make the playoffs for him. The bullpen and the starting pitching makes the playoffs for him. Doesn't feel like Wheeler's going to be back in June or July. It's going to be the beginning of May. So as long as they don't lose some guys, I think they're going to be totally fine. I don't have this negative start to the season with the Phillies. I don't. I really don't. I know that there's issues with the team, but they still have a really good club. They do. They still have a good club, Ray.
Yeah. I was ready to beat you to the punch with that one. It was just a question of Thompson or Dombrowski, which one I was going to hit you with there, because they do. They have a good club.
All right, we have some voice messages to play. These are people that want to be in the Middays with Mark's team for knockout. All right, give me one.
Hey, what's up, fellas? My name is Michael Asenzi. I am 37 years old. I'm going to be 38 on March 16th. So I would love to be selected just because it would be a great birthday present and a night out for me and my wife. We have a soon-to-be 2-year-old in 5 days and a 3.5-year-old. So this would be a great date night for us to get out of the house, have a few drinks. She can watch me embarrass myself on the court in front of a bunch of other people and get a kick out of it and make fun of me for the rest of my life. So that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, let me know. Go Birds.
I like that one.
Yeah. Mike seems like the type of guy I want to hang out with. Now, Mike also does seem like the type of guy that's going to be knocked out early on.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
We have plenty of time to get more ringers.
Right. I'm a fan of Mike.
You know what? That's a pretty good call.
That's pretty good. We're obviously qualified. We got a number of them coming in. People have figured out how to do voice memos in the 21st century. So I'm very proud of our audience. A few people struggling with it. I've seen the text. Very difficult for me to text back and explain to you how to do it.
Can you get Nate to do it?
Very difficult over text to explain how to do the text to
So again,
voice memo.
Save the Fanatic. Here's our phone number, 610-632-0975. So you save that in your contacts, and then so go to us in the contacts to send us a text message. And then go to that plus sign on the left-hand side by where you would write a text message. Hit the plus sign, and then go to where you see audio. If you hit where it says audio, it will immediately start recording what you say. And you'll see it. And then you do it until you're done speaking, and then boom, you send it like a regular text message. So if you want to qualify to be on the show, Middays with Mark's knockout team, and you want 2 tickets to the 76ers, send us your voice memo. 610-632-0975. The news at noon, and it's glorious. Featuring John Fanta, Bob Costas, and Stephen A. Smith. That's next. News at noon with Ray, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Tough one at Xfinity Mobile Arena. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Last night in South Philadelphia, the San Antonio Spurs came into town, and it was not a contest on national television between the 76ers and the Spurs. 131-91, the final. The Sixers lose that game by 40, trailed by 49 at the end of the third quarter. VJ Edge comes in playing the second half, back soreness after taking a hard fall. Now the Sixers have to turn the page to the Jazz tonight. You'll be able to listen to that game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We're less than a week away from NFL free agency beginning. Still plenty of offseason storylines surrounding the Birds. None bigger than the future of A.J. Brown. Adam Schefter joined Kincade and Salciunas this morning. And here's what he had to say about Brown.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet $1 today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not.
James Palmer will join us coming up at 1 o'clock to talk about everything going on with the Birds offseason. Look ahead to free agency next week. Spring training action continues down in Clearwater today for the Phillies. They're facing Team Canada at 1:05. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline 87-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Ray out near home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Go violations, Greg. Electric Avenue. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, we have a NFL trade. Chiefs send quarterback Trent McDuffie to the Rams for the 29th overall pick, a 2027 third-round pick, and a 2026 5th and 6th round pick. Wow. So they must have thought they could have re-signed McDuffie, because if I remember, he's one of the better corners, right? Excellent at blitzing. Is he entering his final year of his contract?
He is 25 years old. And he is entering, I believe, what would be the final year of his rookie deal. Yes, after 4 seasons, this would be the 5th year. So they get rid of him immediately.
He's making $13.6 million this year. He's gonna see. Without knowing the inside of everything, right? I'm gonna text my buddy Bob Fesco in Kansas City. Wouldn't this be kind of the equivalent of the Eagles letting Quinyon Mitchell leave after trading him after 4 years?
McDuffie was an All-Pro, so yeah, kind of feels like it.
Could you ever imagine the Eagles doing that? No, they would pay him.
You would think. Now, this is something they have done quite a bit. They've traded Marcus Peters. They traded L'Jarius Sneed. They've now traded Trent McDuffie. Maybe they feel like instead of being a quarterback factory, they're a cornerback factory out there in Kansas City. They feel like they're going to find another corner, and instead of paying the premium there, they'll pay somewhere else.
So somebody wrote that McDuffie's going to be looking for a top-tier salary somewhere in the $30 million a year range. So the Chiefs look at it and say, all right, we don't want to do that. We feel like we can get a corner that's not going to cost us that much money, because what they got in return for McDuffie is a legit haul.
Oh, yeah.
It also shows you what the play, because more or less the Rams are acquiring him so they can re-sign him.
Yeah, and also acquiring him knowing that we only have so many more shots with Stafford before we have to start playing quarterback roulette. So Stafford said he's back. Let's push the chips in again.
A first, a third, a fifth, and a sixth. McDuffie, that's something.
Certainly not nothing.
No, it isn't.
I'm curious for you, just real quick before we get to the news at noon. Maybe this is something to chew on for later on. When it's all said and done, the 2020s, which franchise will be the one that defines the NFC? The Rams or the Eagles?
So far, it's the Eagles.
When it's all said and done, though.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be the Eagles?
Well, who's the Rams quarterback? You say the same thing for the Eagles. No, but all right, Stafford for how long? 1 more year.
Yeah.
Okay. But then they have to start over with a quarterback. Can they do that? Well, you can say the same thing with the Eagles. The difference is the Eagles have shown that they can do that.
I know. Just thinking of going through the exercise here. Both of them have a ring this decade. McVay has become the poster child for what offense is. Stafford's won an MVP. They've been in it every single year. And you could say the same thing. Eagles been in it every year. They've got a ring. I think
they're the two teams from the NFC.
Right. I think from my vantage point, it's the Eagles, but I also was born in Montgomery County, went to Temple University, and worked at 97.5 The Fanatic for my entire professional career. I'm not exactly...
How about that?
You're not objective like maybe somebody in Phoenix.
Right. Yeah, like if we called up someone from Chicago, we're like, we called up your boy Parkins. We're like, hey, man, what do you think?
Oh, Danny Parkins.
If we called him up, it's like, who do you think's going to be
He's the best.
He just missed the news at noon, by the way, with this Jim Boeheim story that went viral.
Darn.
Yeah, I know. I was really hoping you would get a chance to hear him talk about
I'll have to just find that on my own.
Yeah, but
I can't get enough of Danny Parkins.
If we called someone from Chicago, I'm curious who they would think would be the defining team of the 2020s, the NFC. Like, if you were to say that's the poster child of the NFC in the 2020s, is it the Eagles?
We can ask maybe we ask James Palmer that coming up at 1 o'clock.
Oh, we got way too much to get to with James Palmer to be talking to. That's a July conversation with James.
That's true.
When he gets back from vacation.
All right, I'm gonna text Fesco to see what he thinks about this trade. But the 12 o'clock hour of the show brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. You can learn more at Service First HVAC. It is time for the news at noon.
News at noon with Ray Dunn. News at noon with Dunn.
And real fast, just to wrap up that Rams thing, and Anthony, the Cuz is on the line. Rams got there with Jared Goff too. With was that this decade?
That was 2018. No, not this decade.
All right. Very, very comparable, the two teams, the two organizations.
Yeah, I'll say to the Jared Goff thing, and I've said this throughout Goff's entire career, if Goff was playing in Philadelphia and put up that performance in the Super Bowl, we never would have let him down. Forget throwing up in the huddle in the Super Bowl. 3 points? You put up 3 points with Boy Genius as your head coach in the Super Bowl? I don't care if it's Belichick on the other side. 3 points? That was the worst Super Bowl I've watched.
Yep. It was.
All right. Moving on. We'll start the news at noon in college basketball. Angry college coaches, but instead of hearing from the coach, we hear from the broadcaster here. John Fanta on the call last night for Georgetown and St. John's. Georgetown had the early lead. St. John's ends up winning. Good for me. I'm going to the Prudential Center on Friday night for St. John's at Seton Hall. I didn't want any of the juice taken out. Yeah. My brother and I have decided we're doing one college basketball game where we haven't gone to before. Prudential Center, not exactly a college campus to get to, but I kind of want to see Slick
That's something, though. Yo, dude, St. John's, you kidding me?
Yeah. End of the season, battling for position in the Big East. There will be no white suit, but I'm excited for it. 9 o'clock tip-off from the Prudential Center Friday night. It's going to be a late night.
Oh, boy.
But looking forward to that. St. John's comes back, wins the game. In the midst of them making their comeback, questionable call against Georgetown, Ed Cooley's not happy. Here's how John Fanta described Cooley's reaction.
The Hall of Famer gets Cooley. And Cooley looks like he was just told it's 10:31 at McDonald's and they're out of sausage biscuits. Which I know that feeling. It's an 8-point.
I know the feeling.
Which is great, him having fun at his expense. But also, to pull that out of thin air, 10:31, 10:30 is when breakfast ends for McDonald's, and they're out of sausage biscuits. Elite reference there.
Yeah, I didn't know that's when breakfast ended at
That's
McDonald's.
how I found out that McDonald's ended at 10:30.
And apparently, he knows.
Yeah. Fanta, he's having a little fun at his own expense.
All right, we go to McDonald's breakfast right now. What are you ordering?
I don't know if they sponsor anything. I'm going to say something. I haven't been to a McDonald's in probably 15 years.
Yep.
So
okay, I've been to McDonald's before that.
Yeah.
All right, so
I would have no idea.
Forget about breakfast. Right now, we walk in lunch. This is actually when I worked with Anthony. I went through a period. It was actually when my oldest was born. I would eat 3 Big Macs for lunch. It's 1,615 calories. They're $5.50 a piece.
Wow.
So Big Mac is my favorite sandwich going. Any burger, anything else, the Big Mac is severely underrated.
I'm glad to know.
You can't even have the conversation. Now, I love Wendy's and Papa John's and everybody else.
Yeah, they're all great, too.
Who else advertises?
Papa John's is advertising right now. Wendy's used to...
Love them. Love Papa John's. Delicious pizza. All right, what else?
Big fan of all of them.
What else do we have?
Places I eat. All right. Going on to Bob Costas last night. And this was tremendous. I always know that we hit on the News at Noon when there's audio that's sent back to me that is the News at Noon audio because everyone had this last night. Costas trying to pay homage to some legends and really knew he walked himself into a tough spot.
And I worked out one with you guys, too. I think you said Enberg.
Oh, yeah.
Two great dicks.
Yes.
D-E-T. I think someone's going to cut that off, and it's not going to sound right. It's not going to sound right. Two great Richards, known as Dick, with the last name beginning with an E. 2 D-Es.
Yes. Thank you, Dick Ebersol.
Yes. And thank you, whoever edits that out.
Yep.
I know it did, obviously.
Bob Costas, Jim Gray was there, that rat. Mike Fratello and Doug Collins back in Philly. I really enjoyed it. Not a great game, and I had my history with Costas. I don't really like Costas, but he's still great. And Doug Collins and the czar, Mike Fratello, with that rug on his head. It was fun. It's a good broadcast. NBC kills it with the basketball NBA broadcast.
They're doing really well with it right now.
Kills it. They're using the throwback graphics, too, as a Throwback Tuesday.
It was cool to see that presentation.
Yeah,
as someone that didn't really live through that whole era, being able to see it actually put into practice and not just like, oh, look at these old Jordan highlights and the way the screen was presented. It's nice.
Not invited back was Peter Vesey.
And he'll let you know that.
He's pissed. Peter Vesey, who was the longtime, I guess it was New York Post writer, columnist, or was the Daily News, but he was also a part of that broadcast. He was kind of like the insider.
Yeah.
And he was not invited back. I don't know why.
Nostalgia's got a price tag. At some point, they can't invite everyone back. They have to pay for those Jordan interviews that they got.
Or, as Bob was talking about a dick, maybe he's another dick.
Yeah, nice Richard, All right. Last one for you here. Stephen A. Zion Williamson. If you remember, he had the whole take like 2 or 3 years ago. Every chef in New Orleans knows about Zion Williamson. He just loves to eat. Well, he's back at it against Zion, and this was good.
You got people that are alcoholics. You got people that are drug addicts and stuff like that. What was Zion's problem? Food addict. The joke was everybody in New Orleans, they cooked. It could be everybody from a restaurant, a chef, to your grandmama. All right? Anybody that cooked knew about Zion Williamson, and he knew them. They were on a first name basis because that brother ate a lot, okay? You even had rumors, and literally, I'm here thinking it was a joke, and somebody told me to go on the air and point out how he got busted hiding food under his bed.
Hiding food under his bed.
Yeah, that seems like maybe a food addiction problem.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
You like to eat.
You like to eat.
Oh, Stephen A.
I'd like to defend Zion for a second here.
You would?
Because if I lived in New Orleans, I can assure you the food addiction would take over.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Jambalaya, all that seafood they got down there, all the different just places you could go. And I've only been there for weekends where I'm there 1 or 2 nights at a time. And I have actual responsibilities over that time.
You would get sick of that stuff. Philadelphia is a food city. Bring it. There's not many. New York, Chicago, Philly food city. It's just a different cuisine.
Yeah, that's why I walk to every restaurant in Philly. I'm trying to avoid deal with that food addiction and blow it up there. But I would say if I was Zion in New Orleans, plus think about the people that are like, oh, he likes to eat, make sure he comes to our restaurant.
Right.
You get caught up in that pretty quick.
Yeah,
now,
you do.
You know, you got to condition. You got to be better in terms of an athlete. But if I lived in New Orleans, I don't think it'd be the biggest problem I'd have because I definitely would have bigger problems than just eating the food. I'd probably have,
How about that?
A little bit of problem with Bourbon Street. I think that'd probably be number one. But number two would definitely be the food. For sure.
All right. There you go. News at noon. It makes me sad that you don't know anything about McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, I went when I was younger, but...
No, but you're right. If you go to if I would drive by a McDonald's at lunchtime, there's nobody in the parking lot. If I go to Chick-fil-A at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like they're giving away free food.
Really?
Holy crap, dude.
That Chick-fil-A Royersford's not still popping like that?
No, I'm saying it's like they're giving away food as in
packed in.
Food is free, come get it.
Yeah.
No, I did. Like, I picked the kids up from school, and I'm like, all right, well, let's go get Chick-fil-A because we had basketball or something that night. And I even order on the mobile app so we can just roll in the drive-thru. There's like 30 cars in front of me. What do we do? This isn't even dinner yet.
That Chick-fil-A in Royersford, when I was a track runner, we would have the free run where you could kind of just run wherever in town. Those of us who were not good and realized our future was not in running to that Chick-fil-A and grabbing a milkshake and then just be like, all right, yeah.
And then running after?
Yeah, running back.
You're drinking a milkshake and then you run back to school?
Well, think about how close it is to Springford. It's not that far.
Well, it's not that close.
Yeah, it's close enough. And trust me, you're going to start sweating after you had the milkshake.
Oh, I just, like, who the hell wants to drink a milkshake and then jog a couple miles? What the hell's wrong with you?
A lot. A lot's wrong. You said Nate sent us that thing last night, the beer mile, the world record holder.
No, thank you.
I mean, I'd be interested in that. I got to get back to running, though.
Yeah, I'm going to end up doing the Springford 5K again this year.
Oh, nice.
No.
Oh,
not really. Well, I just, like, my kids, they signed up for this thing at school where they run on Fridays. I'm like, you don't like it. You're going to complain every week. You don't want to do it. No, we want to do it because they like the teacher. We want to do it. We want to do it. So then they're signed up. So that corresponds with the 5K. Now they're saying they're not going to run in the 5K, but I'm like, why would you do this if you're not going to run in the 5K? So I'm probably going to be running in the 5K.
Yeah, there was a question about that at my high school time of like, why are you doing this if it's not going to lead anywhere? It's like, I don't know, it kept me in shape.
Something
I like the
to
people
do.
I ran with. Yeah.
So you couldn't even answer a question about McDonald's. While I'm now a Big Mac fanatic, I'm curious with the text line. My order used to be a number 2 with an additional cheeseburger. The number 2 was 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and then the soda. You supersize it. You get number 2 with the additional cheeseburger, and then you supersize it. Or if you're feeling really hungry, you do the Big Mac with the additional cheeseburger, and you supersize it. The quarter pounder, I believe, was in number 3. And I didn't know anybody that ate the filet of fish. I assumed that they were out there, but
yeah, it's not something. I'm sure people liked it, so yeah, go ahead.
Well, that was the choice. The McDonald's on Old York Road in Abington. I would just ride my bike down there. You take the back roads, bam.
We used to do that there was a Wendy's not far from me. We'd take the bike, but I wasn't getting food. I was getting the Frosty. That was it.
I've been that way.
Right?
It's good.
Not that one, Collegeville.
The one by the Redners.
Yeah, we do the trail because I was close to the trail where I was living. Yeah.
All right.
And we also did that.
And then Burger King would be where we would go because it's in the center of Willow Grove. So when I was in high school and on Friday nights, let's go to the mall. So we would like go somewhere and then we'd end up at Burger King and then the mall and back at Burger King.
Well, that was the Providence Town Center for me. because it's like, what are we going to do tonight? Let's go to the Providence Town Center. And then the old Elevation Burger, which I found out is gone.
It is?
I've heard it was gone. Is it not?
Well, I got into I had a problem there one time.
Okay. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that was the last straw for the Elevation Burger. John Marks had an issue.
And then it was the 7-Eleven in Hatboro, the Bonnet Lane 7-Eleven in Hatboro. Once we got cars, that's when it wasn't. Burger King was when we only would walk. And then when everybody started driving, that's when we would hang out at 7-Eleven. We'd go from 7-Eleven to this place to that place.
Yeah.
Back at the Sev.
Nachos at Champs, a walk somewhere that ended up at Wegmans.
And then Dad picked you up.
Yeah, or someone who was older than me that had a car drove me back home. Yeah,
there you go. All right, Mad Mike checking in. Mad Mike normally calls during this time. Mad Mike, how are you? We're excited for Eagles free agency, buddy.
Oh, of course. But my McDonald's breakfast order is sausage McMuffin with egg, hash brown, and then I go to the Dunkin' Donuts across the street and get a medium caramelized latte.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is I enjoy their coffees and their whatever. I don't like.
To be fair, I feel like McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts should combine forces. Like even if it's just for breakfast, like bring McDonald's breakfast food and Dunkin' Donuts drinks, and then that's the perfect meal.
Do you eat? I would say once a week I'm at Dunkin' Donuts getting donuts for the girls because my little girls like donuts.
I'm getting coffee for my wife every morning from Dunkin' Donuts. It's ridiculous.
Well, you gotta get. You know what I buy? I buy the family size Dunkin' Donuts at home, and I make it at home in the big orange jug, and it's delicious.
Yeah, my wife's kind of bougie, so she wants it direct from the store. So anyway, what I'm looking forward to in Eagles free agency is for Jalen Hurts to lose all his toys. He's going to lose AJ. He's going to lose AJ, and then he's going to lose his tight end, and then his offensive line is going to hell. And we get our first glimpse at St. Jalen without having all-world talent all the time and still running an average offense.
But like we can't keep doing this, Mad Mike.
Yes, we can.
We can't keep doing this.
You know why we can keep doing this, John Marks? Because I've had to listen to so many dorks that, Jalen's top 5 quarterback. He's so good. St. Jalen's got all the intangibles. No, he has been pampered his entire NFL career, and now the wheels are coming off, and you're going to see how garbage of a quarterback he is.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm excited to see what he looks like in this new offense with real coaching, with a real offensive coordinator, with real play calling, with an actual offensive design that fits what year we're in. And I think Ray is as well.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it. They had to dumb down the offense just for him, like in the past. I don't think he's going to be able to handle a Sean McVay-style offense.
Matt Mike, I'm curious. Where were you for the parade?
With a blanket over his head at home. Yeah,
okay, you were at home. I didn't know. Maybe
that was his worst nightmare. It was his worst nightmare. And the Eagles are good. It's his worst nightmare.
Yeah, I was concerned that maybe the guy that threw the beer that hit Howie Roseman in the head was Mad Mike trying to take out Jalen.
I snuck out and hit it. So that was definitely me. I hit Howie in the face with a beer.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, Mad Mike.
Have a good one.
All right, beat it. I got hit in the head with a beer. It was impossible not to. I was up on the floats. I was with the defensive backs. At one point, I was with the running backs, and then the defensive backs, and then everybody was just running all over the place. But I was next to Corey Unlin. Do you remember Corey Unlin? He was the defensive backs coach who got a defensive coordinator job after they won the Super Bowl in Detroit. It didn't go well, and then I don't know where he is right now. But he was catching them and drinking them. I was just trying to get the hell out of the way. And obviously, they weren't throwing them at me. And I took a couple off the head. That's for sure. So anyway, free agency does start next week. And I've seen a lot of people that have talked about the Eagles are going to, their big splashes are going to be who they re-sign. And who could that be? Is Jalen Phillips coming back? Is Dallas Goedert coming back? And by the way, if they trade A.J. Brown, they got to replace him. They just can't say, we'll do the draft. No, you're going to have to sign somebody as well. So there's a lot of questions for the Eagles coming up here. And we have some more voice memos as well. People are trying to get in our knockout tournament. And who will the Eagles retain? And your phone call, 610-632-0975. That's next, Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers fall to the Spurs. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A 40-point loss at home last night for the 76ers. They lose 131-91 to San Antonio. They trail by 49 points at the end of the third quarter. VJ Edgecombe didn't play in the second half with back soreness after taking a hard fall early in the game. Sixers have to turn the page quickly. They're back in action tonight against the Utah Jazz. That game at home at Xfinity Mobile Arena, and you can hear it right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We're less than a week away until NFL free agency. Coming up at 1 o'clock, James Palmer will join us to break down what the Birds may do. We'll also give his thoughts on A.J. Brown. Earlier today, Adam Schefter was on with the morning show and gave his latest thoughts on A.J. Brown.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet $1 today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not, but
We'll get an update from James Palmer on what he believes coming up at 1 o'clock. Spring training action continues today in Clearwater. The Phillies have Team Canada at 1:05. This update is brought to you by TireRack.com. Rain or shine, drive with confidence on Vestadine tires from Tire Rack. Vestadine tires deliver precision handling, dependable traction, and quiet comfort. Ship fast and free with 2 years of free road hazard protection. TireRack.com. I'm Ray Tony, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
No. Not that I can think of.
I'm going off a very specific one-hit wonder list here.
Oh, get your booty on the floor tonight. The girl had a nose ring, and the singer right here had a nose ring, a hoop, and I always found it very sexy. This is late 80s, I guess. Yeah, it's a good song.
I'm more a fan of the nose stud.
Oh, I'm not.
You don't like the nose stud?
As somebody that had both, no.
You had both?
Yes.
Oh. Well,
because the nose,
I changed my thought on the nose stud forever.
The nose stud, it was very short period of time because they just take the gun that they give you the earring. Like you can go to the piercing pagoda in the mall, and they'll just put the gun in your nose and they'll shoot it.
It's you and a bunch of girls that just turned 18 that want to rebel from their parents. They're like, I'm going to go get a piercing.
Right. So they shoot the gun in your nose. The real way to do it's with the needle, and that's where you put the hoop in. The stud's fugazi. I know that everybody has the stud. Not a lot of people have the hoop in the nose.
Yeah, one with the stud.
The hoop in the nose is the way to go.
Nah.
The stud.
The stud.
A lot of cheer moms I noticed because I go to all the cheerleading events when we're in cheer season.
They've got the stud.
There's a higher frequency of nose studs than the average crowd.
So you're telling me if I want to find a woman with a nose stud, I should be looking for a cheer mom?
An older woman, yes. I know you like the older women.
Big fan.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
The word of the street. Why fight it?
All right, listen, we have Eagles discussion, but Chris in Phoenixville has something on the 76ers. Christopher, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm good. How are you?
What's going on, man?
Hey, not much, but these Sixers are just brutal, and they have been for years. But I mean, the two guys at the top, Harris and Morey, they've got to go. Harris has to sell. Morey has to get fired, and he's just been ruining that team for years. He has no idea how to GM a team in 2026. He thinks that it's all about stars, when in fact it's all about depth. And he is out here trying to star hunt for Kawhi, and that is disgusting. Also, Maxey cannot be a one ever. He's not built for it, and I just don't think he could ever handle that load. And third of all, Ray, I'm so sorry to hear that elevation is closed. I love that plug in place. I loved it so much.
All right, well, thank you. Well, let's not confirm it. I don't know if we can confirm that. Ray heard that, so it might be possible.
Yeah, for those that might have missed what he just said, he loved the elevation burger. I also love that bleeping place too, man.
Yeah, it's fine. They have a fine hamburger.
But yeah, I also love that elevation burger. That was like my first burger and shake place.
Permanently closed.
Permanently closed?
Yep.
That's tough. I thought word doesn't usually get past my mom without it being verified and being true. She's not one to just read the Facebook page and be like, yeah, that's
you got
the
it from
truth.
your mom. I didn't know your mom reported it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was the one to report that. That's how I keep in touch with the hometown. That's
Mom.
when I leave here, I get my update on what happened in Oaks, Collegeville. You know, you'll never believe who's pregnant and who's engaged.
Oh, that must be great.
And I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm still single, still doing the radio thing.
Yeah, you're still young. You don't need to be.
You'd be surprised from that grouping up there in the Montgomery County area.
I understand. What he said about Morey, and this is, I forget who wrote about this or was saying this a couple months ago, but it does feel like the 76ers, the way that they're trying to win is more 2015 than 2025, 2026. The star hunting. Daryl Morey's a star hunting guy. I mean, let's look at the strengths of Daryl Morey. He's drafted exceptionally well, and you can look at a couple different draft picks, including a guy they just traded away for next to nothing to get. The Maxey was a huge hit. Looks like Edgecombe was a huge hit. McCain was a good pick. So the strength is there. But I guess when you have Joel Embiid, like, what else would you do other than try to go out and get you're drafting well, but you're trying to go out and you're trying to match stars. The problem is getting 3 stars on a team is what they did 10 years ago or with LeBron, and you get 1 max guy, you get 2 max guys. The whole plan that he had was to have that available cap space so he could sign Paul George. That was his plan. And it has not worked, and it does feel like it's dated. And it's not the way to build a team in 2026.
Look around at the best teams in the NBA right now. I mean, the team that won last year shows you they've got the MVP. That's a big deal. But do you think it's a star-laden team, or is it a team that they built organically and just had all the supporting cast there? I think he almost lucked himself into that with the Edgecombe pick, where his plan went so disastrously bad that he ended up getting another young player. But to Chris's point, it's a very interesting one with the Maxey and building around Maxey and what it looks like. Because the Maxey Edgecombe feel for me is without that high upside Embiid-esque player. Now, it doesn't have to be Joel Embiid, but let's just say maybe not to Embiid's level, but maybe player 10 to 20 in the NBA with those two guys running with them as a forward. Their upside almost feels like Trailblazers with Dame and McCollum, where it's like, yeah, you're good.
Not good enough.
Right. It's like, can you win?
Playoff team, fun to watch.
Correct.
Not getting past the second round.
You'll be excited about it. You know, Dame will be a top whatever player in the NBA. And when he goes off in a playoff series, it's incredible to watch. And to be fair to that Trailblazers team, they got further than the Sixers have gotten since AI. So, but it's something that Bob also says all the time. You can't build around just guards in the NBA and expect to win. It's true to an extent, especially small guards. So I kind of agree with Chris there, not just on the elevation burger spot, but I'm glad that was what struck home for him.
All right, we got people trying to get in the knockout tournament. Hit me with some more voice messages there, Ray. What do we got?
Midday boys, I want to come hang out with you guys. I basically met most of the guys on all the other shows. I listen to you guys every day. You're my favorite show. I never met you guys in person. Would love to ball out with you guys. I was 6th man of the year back in my rec league. What else? Oh, actually, add this to my resume. I'm friends with Sean Brace on Facebook. He liked one of my pictures one time. It's got to count for something. And I'm also the guy who sent this Bill Colarulo video to We Hear You on their show. Pretty funny. I don't know if it's going to get through. Anyway, thanks, boys.
All right, 6th man of the year. Friends of Sean Brace on Facebook.
I mean,
likes our show the best, he said.
And that's a big piece for us.
Yeah. Praising us will help. It can only help. Right? Any more? Do we have another one?
There was actually a follow-up to the end of that one.
Okay.
So our buddy, this is Randy in Florence that sent that message. And actually, this is the follow-up to Randy's message because he wants to continue to plead his case.
Hey, also, I forgot, if it's real close and it's between me and another guy and you need extra credit, my girlfriend is smoking hot. So if I'm not that good at basketball, you guys could check her out.
So I used to do a fantasy football league where we did same kind of way how people got into the league.
Right.
And his name was Damien. He ended up being a Washington Commanders fan. But he had said he will bring women with him. And so he showed up dressed like a 70s pimp, and he had 3 girls with him that were scantily dressed.
Wow.
To the fantasy football draft.
I mean,
it got him in, and he did it.
How about that? To Randy from Florence. Your girlfriend got any friends? That could really tip the scales in your favor here.
Yep. Yeah. That may be like 25-year-old play-by-play / radio personalities.
And with the beard, I'm told that I could fool you for 30. So
you could. You
don't have to be honest about my age.
All right. Any more, Ray? Because we still have another hour to get in. We've had a bunch of good responses. We're trying to go through them all right now. All right, one more. Here it is.
Hey, guys, would love to be invited to the knockout tournament. I was in there about roughly 11, 12 years ago.
Ooh.
I actually knocked out Mikey Miss the year that I was in, and I have pictures to prove it. I would love to run that back, so hopefully you guys pick me. Go Birds.
Outright.
Ooh. I mean, that's quite a resume right there.
12 years ago, knocked out Mike Miss. Okay. All right. I feel like one day we should have where we have somebody that we're specifically recruiting for people that want to go after Ricky Pitalico. That want to be the Kobe stopper.
You suck.
Who was the Kobe stopper? Do you remember? What was his name? I have to Google it real fast. The Kobe stopper. Let me see. Say I can't even spell right. I put lobs. Anyway, there was a guy that was the Kobe stopper. So we should have a Ricky stopper. A guy that specifically is targeting Ricky Pitalico.
Suck.
Ruben Patterson, that was his name.
You suck. Who the hell is Ray Dunn?
All right. We have our show insider, James Palmer, who is on every big podcast and the breaking news NFL reporter for Bleacher Report. Going to join us at 1 o'clock. Stay or go for the Eagles. Next segment, we're going to give you all of the Eagles free agents, and then we're going to decide whether they're coming back or whether they're gone. Because it feels like we know who's going to go, and it's a matter of, all right, is Blankenship coming back? Is Dallas Goedert coming back? What's the price tag going to be? Will Jalen Phillips outprice the Eagles? How far are they willing to go? Is A.J. Brown getting traded? Stay or go, Philadelphia Eagles coming up. Also, what does the backup quarterback plan look for the Eagles next season? Should they hold on to Tanner McKee or should they trade him, as a lot of people are saying? Because the Eagles don't have a ton of draft picks in this draft. You know, Howie doesn't like that. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Wake up with
Really is.
Right said Fred.
Right said Fred.
Sean actually kind of looks like Right Said Fred, or one of them. Well, he's bald.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see it. If he's
All right.
shaved, for
yeah,
sure.
Because back when I worked with him first, he had the soul patch. He was clean shaven with a soul patch. You get older, your face gets kind of flabby.
You get older, and maybe the soul patch isn't exactly what fits for the father of two.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was done with the soul patch in the late 90s.
He just happened to have it into the early 2010s.
No, yeah, exactly. Yes, he was still rocking it. There you go. All right, Right Said Fred. So one-hit wonder Wednesday. There we go. All right. So we'll do one more voice memo this segment to get in the knockout tournament. So let's go through some Eagle stuff here, and we'll talk to James Palmer coming up at 1:00, NFL Insider. So you tell me, this isn't whether you would do it or not, Ray. I mean, it can be, but if you think that they're coming back, all right. So Eagles free agents, and we'll also include A.J. Brown. We did A.J. Brown earlier. You think that there's a better chance that he isn't back than he is back, right?
Right. I still think.
Oh, won't see him no more.
Yeah, but it's almost a coin flip for you. You said 55.
It's still 55, 60, and then like 45, 40, somewhere in terms of him coming back.
Okay. I'm 80-20 that he's gone now. I went up another 10%.
You want me to book Brantley Gowton tomorrow, try to get you to 90% by the end of the week?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
We'll
Let's
hit up
get him.
ELG.
All right. Dallas Goedert. And there's been...
won't see him no more.
Really? So there has been some talk that Eagles are interested.
Right.
It's a matter of what happens.
Yeah, I saw that wave beginning yesterday of wait. Before we all write off Dallas Goedert, he's coming back. He could come back. And as much as I want to wait and see him back, they didn't want to give him money last year. He's a year older. He's still got the injury history. They talked about evolving the tight end position. I don't think he's
money dictates whether he's back or not, and it feels like he's going to get paid more than the Eagles are wanting to do.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And get that second year probably somewhere.
Jalen Phillips.
I think he's back.
I agree.
They seem way too invested in the idea that he fits their defense to let him walk.
Vic Fangio, pressure rate, the market is thin. You would have to give up a first-round draft pick plus for Max Crosby. If you don't have him, you're really, really weak at defensive end.
Right.
Edge rusher.
They got the boombox outside Vic's house. We'll bring back Jalen Phillips too. Don't retire.
Maybe that was the conversation. I would expect. Yeah, I think he's going to come back, and he's going to make around 20 a year, which is probably too much. But I think I saw a projection 3 for 51. He beats that, but around that ballpark.
If they gave him the Bryce Huff deal, I wouldn't hate that.
Right. So we both agree he's back. Reed Blankenship, very interesting, because he's good, but how much are you willing to pay good?
Chris Berman once said, back. I think they're going to try and keep him.
Think he's back?
Yeah.
Wow. So I've seen $8 to $10 million a year for Blankenship, which to me seems like way too much.
Well, and here's the thing with Blankenship, and I said this, I think, while you were gone. If he does get that big, payday, big to the relative terms of what he would get, we're going to see it back as an Eagle in 2 years.
Omar Epps. Or not Omar Epps. What's Epps?
Marcus.
Marcus Epps, not Omar Epps.
But, yeah, I think we see it back here in 2 years. I think he might know his best fit's here. His marketing, the ability for him to market himself is here. You know, if we don't have the exciting mics, we don't have anything. So we want to see that happen.
But this is the contract where he can cash in.
Right.
And he's going to. If it's similar money.
Right. That's what I mean. I think they'll give him a little bit more wiggle room to pursue a reunion.
But Epps took the cash. I don't think the Eagles were as interested in bringing him back, but he took the contract. He came back. I think Blankenship's gone.
Okay.
I saw Dallas as a potential.
Christian Parker.
Correct.
They cleared out a lot of room today. I saw they're all restructuring.
They redid contracts.
Yeah, Shefty's losing his mind today, tweeting about how much cap space the Cowboys have.
Well, now they're under the cap because they were big time over the cap.
Yeah.
Because they also have to fit in Pickens.
Right.
He would be if he's franchised. That's a real
Pickens, N'Kobe Dean, Breed Blankenship.
All right, N'Kobe Dean. N'Kobe Dean.
Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, won't see him no more.
I would say it's the big he's gone before anybody.
Yeah.
That's the if you have any thoughts of these guys coming back, N'Kobe Dean has to least chance.
The only one I had thought of was, remember back after 2022, we were like, CJ is going to be the priority. He's going to come back. James Bradbury seems to be the odd guy out.
Right.
And then CJ misread the market, and they pivoted to go back to Bradbury. If they miss out on Phillips, is there a pivot back where they're like, here's the guy that anchors the middle of our defense? If the Dean market doesn't develop to what Dean wants it to be. Maybe. I don't know. Do they think they could? Because when Campbell got here, we heard Micah Parsons. And then it was like, no, he's an off-ball linebacker. If they believe he's truly just an off-ball linebacker and that's it for him, probably Dean absolutely gone. But could they look and say, we've got resources to spend, keep Jacoby Dean?
To your point, if it's a one-year contract, maybe, and I don't envision that happening.
No.
Dean's a good player. Now, he's not going to get not going to get the Brinks truck because of the injury history and things like that. But you have Bond under contract. You just paid him. You're not going to cut him. And you do have to realize that you're going to be paying. Jalen Carter's making $30+ million a year. If you're bringing back, well, I'm blanking on his name right
Jordan
now.
Davis.
Jordan Davis. He's making $20 million a year probably. Nolan Smith, you need to decide whether you're exercising that fifth-year option. I don't think they're going to because it's a big number. You're going to pay him $15 million a year?
Yeah, it just puts you kind of a precarious spot going forward at the edge rusher position.
Yeah, but yes, it does.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
not.
does.
You're not wrong not to do it. Just sitting there like, ugh.
Yeah,
a year ago,
you
right
wish you
now,
did, yes, you
I
would.
was like, yeah, absolutely, they're going to exercise that. And if they're not exercising that, that's even more reason why they're going to give Phillips the money.
Correct. So Phillips, we both agree he's back.
Yeah.
All right.
Phillips back. Dean not. You don't think Blankenship's back. I think Blankenship is back. We both don't think Goddard's back. So that's the big four.
A.J. Brown.
Oh, won't see him no more.
Grant Calcaterra.
Oh, won't see him no more.
Fred Johnson. Back. Yeah, you got to bring him back.
Yeah, I think he has to, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
Making $3 million or something like that. He's shown he can go. When he had the play, all right, maybe he's not Lane Johnson or anywhere close.
He's Fred Johnson.
But you didn't hear his name brought up a lot.
Exactly.
Which is key. It's all you want out of a backup tackle. Who else am I missing here? Anybody? Well, they're the big names.
I'm trying to think. Dory Jackson.
Oh, listen.
I mean, you got to do everything you can, right?
If Adori's not back, here's when Adori's back. August. He's the guy that's not going to be on a roster, and they're like, all right, we want to bring somebody in just in case. They may draft a corner. I wouldn't expect Adoree Jackson back at the beginning of free agency. I mean, I would certainly do that personally. But.
I feel bad saying it this way, and I don't mean to detract from obviously someone that we're such a big fan of here. We have the Adoree Jackson fan club.
That's
but is
me.
he the safety school of cornerbacks? Is he the
Shippensburg?
Yeah, like the marriage promise, like if we're both single at 40, like
we'll get married.
Right. Like, they're doing that with Brandon Graham right now with the edge rusher room, where they're like, Brandon Graham's an Eagle forever. And that means we're not going to make our offseason plans around Brandon Graham, but if we don't like our edge rusher room.
Right, we'll see you in August.
Right. Is that Adoree Jackson for this? It's like.
Yeah, they'll bring him back if they're like, we'll take a look at this rookie. Oh, he's not ready to play.
Right.
Adoree.
They did everything they could, which again is why it's the kind of the safety school thing. Yeah. It was like, we're going to trade for Jacoria Bennett. We're going to bring in a slot corner here. Maybe we'll kick Cooper DeJean outside. Keely Ringo's still here. They did everything they could so that Adoree Jackson wouldn't be their corner. And they're like, you know what? It's time to head out to Kutztown. Like,
Kutztown's a good safety school.
I like it up there. Did a couple of track meets up there.
Not bad up there. I visited some friends up there right when I got out of high school. Not bad.
No, there's nothing wrong with going to Kutztown.
All right, Tanner McKee, Dave Zangaro are he's a part of the show. Dave Zangaro, he has a song and everything. He had said he would trade Tanner McKee for a third-round draft pick. He's a free agent after this season. Now you'd have to sign a backup, or you'd have to figure out what your backup's going to be. That might cost you more money than you want to pay. Obviously, Tanner McKee's not making a lot of money being a mid-round draft pick, but. Yeah, I would strongly consider it. The Eagles do not have a lot of draft picks. If you can get a third-round draft pick for Tanner McKee, I think you got to do it.
I'm not doing it.
So you wouldn't?
No.
For a second? Well, they're not getting a second.
They're not getting a second.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't think I'm moving him. Really, when it
Why?
comes down to it, I feel secure at the backup quarterback spot. Like Sam Howell,
he's a free agent too.
All right, so is he coming back?
I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody ever brings him back. He's bounced around for a couple of teams here.
So I think you've got Tanner McKee. If they love him inside that organization as much as they do, all right.
I'd do it for a third.
Because you're just afraid he's going to walk after next season.
Yeah. Is he coming back as a backup and you're giving him $4 or $5 million a year to be your backup?
No, probably not. He's going to go find greener pastures.
If that's out there, who knows if teams are going to be interested in him for that? But he would get a better shot to start than here.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Do you think if you were a team looking for a quarterback this offseason, Tanner McKee's near the top of your list?
No.
All right. Well, in that case, he's more valuable to me than he is to someone else.
But also for a third round draft pick, if I bring back Aaron Rodgers and I don't have another young quarterback in sight, Tanner McKee for a third round draft pick. Now, the problem is he's not under contract past this year.
Right.
That's why I wouldn't give up a third round draft pick for him, because you would have to sign him to a new contract, which I wouldn't do. So, or maybe he could play his way into it, but you'd really have to believe in Tanner McKee. And let's face it, the game that he played certainly didn't help him.
No, it certainly didn't. And of course, you'll get the people that are like, well, look at the players around him. I got you.
Okay, he was bad.
Yeah, wasn't great.
Also, Mekhi Becton's going to get cut by the Chargers.
Yes, saw that.
He was one of the worst guards in the league. I already see a lot of people saying, bring him home. No. Unless he's a backup or something like that. I don't know, man.
Stoutland U, man.
Yeah, where's Stoutland U being held this year?
Exactly. So you got to bring him back this situation's perfect for him. The situation's changed, man.
All right. Well, everybody has their opinion on A.J. Brown. Does he stay or does he go? What will James Palmer, the noted NFL insider, say about that? Does he think there's a better chance that A.J.'s staying or going? That's the talk, and everything else free agency as well. James Palmer coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking to bounce back tonight. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And following a 40-point loss last night, the 76ers have the Utah Jazz tonight at Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can listen to the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic as they look to bounce back from a 131-91 loss to the San Antonio Spurs last night. They trailed by 49 points at the end of the third quarter. VJ Jacob not playing the second half due to back soreness. Took a hard fall early on in that game. Looking at the Eagles right now, we are less than a week away from NFL free agency. Plenty to talk about coming up at 1 o'clock with James Palmer. That's in the next segment. He'll break down what the Birds might be doing. Of course, give his thoughts on A.J. Brown, because everybody needs to give their thoughts on A.J. Brown, including Adam Schefter, who joined Kincade and Salciunas this morning.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet a dollar today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not, but
we'll see what ends up happening with A.J. Brown and where the Eagles end up going this offseason. As for season about to get started, the Phillies continue spring trading today with the game against Team Canada at 1:05. The Phillies are back in action this afternoon. This update brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5. The is on my very specific one-hit wonder list.
We don't.
Wikipedia of one-hit wonders.
There's no way James Palmer believes that House of Pain, Jump Around, this one-hit wonder. They had jams. You're probably telling the wrong person it's a one-hit wonder. We'll have to discuss this later. As James Palmer, noted NFL insider for Bleacher Report, podcast expert, all over the place. He joins us as free agency is about to begin in the NFL. James, how are you?
What's going on?
Is House of Pain, we on Wednesdays we do one-hit wonders.
Okay.
Is House of Pain a one-hit wonder?
Listen, I would shift it slightly to, and I had this cassette in a single, I would say the Humpty Dance Digital Underground, more of a one-hit wonder probably. Even
Easily.
though Tupac was part of the Digital Underground. But I did have that on cassette as a single. And when they make those, it's almost like they're admitting they know what they're a part of.
That's true. No, so you know the other day, because you mentioned Tupac with Digital Underground. It's same song. Yeah. That's the other song they have. It's same song, and of course it's the Humpty Dance, but same song was from, do you remember the movie it was from?
Nothing But Trouble.
Oh my God. Let's go. We're about the same age. I remember the same thing. But House of Pain actually had jams. They had I had cassettes as well. They had a couple of jams.
Yeah. Come on now. I think I was rocking that like a number of bat and bar mitzvahs in the King of Prussia area. Yeah.
I could totally see that, man. They still use House of Pain to this day at any basketball game you go to during a timeout or a college football game. Here's House of Pain, jump around.
100% that, and take me to an NHL arena that doesn't still play Bush. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. The song still plays every game.
Avalanche have it out there, high frequency.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get. Yeah. So what is it? Machine Head that they play with Bush?
Yep. It's the opening of Machine Head, and the whole crowd goes crazy still after all this time.
All right, let's get down to the business. So everybody that we bring on, or even as hosts, we all say, and for me, it ranges from day to day. It's like she loves me not. She loves me not. Is A.J. Brown now how you're feeling today? After the combine, everybody you're talking to, does it feel like A.J. Brown, there's a better chance he's an Eagle, or that the Eagles trade him here in the next week?
I think there's a better chance he's playing elsewhere, and that's my opinion today. There are teams certainly interested. Both sides, I was at the combine, did their due diligence. I think Howie obviously not actively shopping him, I think is a smart way to probably go about this. I mean, with as sensitive kind of as it feels, I guess. But he has a pretty good understanding of what the market is. Obviously, his number is very high, and it should be. AJ's a great player, and if you don't start up there, you never know if he can get up there. I know I was with the head coach at one point in the combine, and Howie's asking price was delivered to him as we were hanging out, and he more or less laughed a lot. But at the same time, I think Howie's handling this the way that he should. He doesn't have to make a move. That's the other part. It is a tradable contract. It is something that, does Howie want to get younger at some certain spots, whether that's tackle or add some capital to where this roster can get a little bit more youthful in some spots, certainly. But, I had a conversation with Nick Sirianni on my Bleacher Report show at the Combine, and, Nick was pretty clear about, we don't like to get rid of elite players. AJ's still considered an elite receiver. There's not many X's, like true X's, in this league that can win consistently, and he's done that for a number of years in Philly. I do think you look at did the back end of last year, what was going on, start to impact what was going on the field a little bit. That's when you start to maybe make a little bit more of a question of going, should we try to make some sort of move? I do think also Philly's in a unique spot, and Nick and I talked about this at the Combine. They have a number one on the team aside of A.J. Brown. If you talk to people around the league, Devontae Smith is a true number one. And there are people in the league that do believe he can be a high-volume receiver. Now, I don't want to make this comp, but it was brought up to me, so I'll just say it. It was he can be a Jackson Smith and Jigba type player. He can handle that volume. Now, that's the offensive player of the year. But honestly, talking with Nick, they wouldn't put that past him. I mean, he told me there's nothing I think Devontae Smith can't do on a football field. Yeah. So they are in a position to do something, right?
Yeah, that was kind of the takeaway from the Combine was the Eagles think that if it's not AJ, then you can definitely step up. Now, the problem is replacing, because Devontae's going to replace AJ's production. Who's replacing Devontae's production, right? They're thin at wide receiver. And then the thought of Dallas Goedert also leaving. Yeah, like it's as an Eagles fan, it's worrisome because they don't have another tight end that they can slot in like they had previously with a young Zach Ertz or like a young Dallas Goedert. So they do have a couple of holes on offense. Your opinion on Dallas Goedert coming back? It seems like the Eagles are open to it, but the market's going to dictate whether he's back or not.
Yeah, it really is. And I always look at the way the free agent market ties into the draft market. And when you're talking about these targets at receiver, I mean, I do a show with Steve Smith. We're breaking them down all the time. Like, this is a deep wide receiver draft. Like, you could find a complement to Devontae in the draft for sure, and that can be outside of the first round. With Dallas, you really have, like, one tight end near the top, right? And Sadiq, and that's kind of it. Like, it's not like last year's draft where you had a number of guys. Like, maybe you could get, like, Max Clare from Ohio State and, like, you know, the third, like, end of the second, third round. Maybe you can do that. But I always go back and think about, and we all saw how Dallas was specifically even in the red zone. When I talked to other coaches around the league, it was like, man, I understand how Philly operates. A.J. Brown deserves the targets he gets. Devontae deserves the targets he gets. Dallas Goedert's a top 5 tight end in a lot of people's minds in terms of a complete tight end, in terms of, you know, some of these guys are just pass catchers. I think Dallas can do a little bit more than that. And so there was always the thought, like, if he was in another offense, how much more run would he get?
Right.
But also everybody understood the role he was in, right? It's like, well, you look at the two guys that are getting balls. Oh, yeah, you have Saquon Barkley. So, like, you understood that he was the fourth option. But, you know, I think the market is going to dictate when you do have, you know, Njoku's out there, Isaiah Likely's out there. And, you know, there are some guys that he's going to be competing with some of these teams that are looking for him. But I wouldn't rule it out just because of what happened last year and the discount he took to come back.
Yeah, it does feel like that as far as is he coming back. I would lean no more than yes, but it's possible. Now with AJ, you had mentioned the price tag, and I had saw Andrew Callahan, who I know a little bit up in Boston. He had reported that the Patriots' response to what the Eagles were asking was that it wasn't serious. Now, that price tag is probably going to come down, right? So would Howie do it for a first-round draft pick? Do you think so? The teams that are interested, and I know Zach Berman had said that there's a number of AFC teams that are interested. The Chargers pick 22nd, the Bills pick 26th, the Broncos 30, the Patriots 31. Would that get it done if one of those teams offered one of those first-round draft picks? Is that enough to get it done for A.J. Brown?
I think those teams are all trying not to give up a first-round pick for A.J. I mean, you could look at a comp of when Stephon Diggs went to Houston, in all honesty. I think that was like a second. And there were some other things that were exchanged. But you could almost use that as a little bit of a comp. I don't know if it's still a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. And this is why. There are some people around the league that I've talked to, and I'm not putting anything past A.J. Brown considering the way he works. And obviously, we've all seen him topless, right? So, listen, the way A.J. works and the way he goes about his business is one thing. But there are plenty of people in the league that do believe this is probably the best we've seen A.J. play, right? He's probably not going to play better than what we've seen him play the last couple of years in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform. Who's thinking that and taking that into account? The teams that are looking to buy. You know, I mean, the teams that are looking to add AJ. And, you know, he has managed this knee issue for a number of years, and he's done a great job doing it, but that's still a factor in play here. And so I don't know if he goes for a 1. I mean, obviously Howie wants that and probably and then some. But I think those teams are trying to hold firm a little bit to see if they can get Howie to take the price down and banking on, you know, Philly blinking first, but that's a tough thing to do with the way Howie Roseman does business.
James Palmer, NFL Insider, Bleacher Report, co-host Scoop City on The Athletic, co-host with Steve Smith. The podcast is 89. You can follow him on Twitter, James Palmer TV. All right, Jalen Phillips, to me, like a couple weeks ago, I would have told you, man, I don't know about giving him $20 million a year. And now you look at it, it seems like everybody feels like the Eagles are going to bring him back for about $20 million a year. What's the latest? What are you hearing? And if the Eagles did bring him back, do you think that's the right move?
I think there's a couple of edge rushers out there, and you comp them against those, right? Like now Trey Hendrickson is available. He's coming off of a core muscle injury, but before that he's got 17.5 sacks in each of those 2 previous years before that. Still one of the best pass rushers out there, but he's 31. I mean, Howie's in on everything, but I just don't think Max Crosby would be the play. There's enough teams involved. I just think it's very like a year or two ago, season more
So we're going to put him on hold for a second. Maybe we can clear that up. But more or less what he's saying is with the names that are out there and everything else, Phillips probably isn't going to get the contract that's going to push the Eagles out. Of everything we're talking about, Goddard's kind of like, for me, maybe coming back, a maybe with a probably not. And A.J. Brown is, I think he gets traded, but it's certainly not a lock. And Phillips, to me, is the most likely to come back of anybody that we're talking about right here, just because it's a real need. And it seems like that Phillips likes being here. Vic Fangio wants him. And if Vic Fangio wants him, that's a real thing. And again, Fangio almost retired. You want to make him happy, but you also want a good defense. And if you don't have Jalen Phillips, then you're going out. Hendrickson, to me, it's I don't know if it's a fit for Fangio's defense. Certainly, he got after the quarterback in previous years, but it's Phillips, to me, just all across the board looks like a fit and everything else. So it makes the most sense to me that Phillips comes back, because even if it's a 3 or 4 year contract, if it ends up after 2 years, he's not the player that they were hoping for the money, then you just cut him and you move on and you have a dead cap and everything else. All right, so James, you were talking about Phillips. We had you there for a little bit, then you broke up.
Yeah, beep bop, boop bop, beep bop. Was I like a robot?
A little bit,
all of a
yes.
sudden, apparently?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah. Where were we on Jalen Phillips? I do think when you make that trade and you give up the capital they did last year, there is the incentive to move forward with the player. And obviously, he knows Fangio's system. You got what you expected from him. He really liked being in Philadelphia. A lot of times, trade deadline moves are oftentimes rentals, but at the same time, there is teams, and I think Howie's one of them, that goes about the move thinking about the short term and the long term. And I think they were thinking about that with Phillips. Now, the injuries are a little bit of a concern for sure,
yeah.
But I was kind of giving you the other options that are out there. And are those, they might be more expensive, and are those players that much better in terms of value? I go about value with everything I do in covering this league. And so he's obviously not Max Crosby. Very few people on the planet are Max Crosby. I don't know if he's Trey Hendrickson either. But if I look at Trey at 31, and I look at where Jalen Phillips is, and I look at what you have to give up for Max, the value at about 20 might be suitable, honestly, and the right move to make, considering the player likes playing in the system.
Yeah, what's the price tag they would move Crosby for? And because anytime players like that are interested, the Eagles are always going to be connected because of their Eagles and Howie Roseman or whatever. Are the Eagles, are they checking in? Are they interested in Crosby? What's the price tag?
The price tag is essentially John Spytek is picking up the phone and saying, what do you guys got? Because he shouldn't put a price tag on it, right? Like, you have the crown jewel. You have a guy that checks every single box, whether he changes your entire culture. He is the ultimate teammate. He is the ultimate motor guy. He stops the run, stops the pass, everything. So he, from my understanding with teams, has not told them what the price tag is. He's just listening. So what are you guys interested in doing? And I think that's a smart way to do it, because you're only going to drive the price up. I think to maximize it, it has to happen before the league year opens up. I mean, it doesn't have to. It can happen during the draft. It can be, at any point in time. But I think there's a reason why Max is posting all these videos of him doing like the wild world of sports, whether he's shooting baskets, boxing, anything on his Instagram, because it's like, hey guys, I'm healthy.
Right.
Look at me, come get me. And so the price is up there. I don't think it's Michael Parsons-esque because he's older and he's approaching 30 and he plays so hard. Teams are curious, how many years do I get the great Max Crosby? So I do think it's maybe a little bit less than what Micah got, but it's definitely and certainly up there. And so is Howie probably calling? I think you're a fool not to call. I was trying to think of the teams that wouldn't. Maybe Houston, who has like two outstanding edge rushers. Outside of them, like, everybody should try to call. But I think the price is certainly up there, and I think there's a greater chance of it happening, much greater chance of it happening than not. I think the tell was, when I talked to John Spytek on my show, I was like, all right, you guys want him back, and I think they really do. You guys want Max Crosby back? And he said, yeah, we certainly do. Don't want to get rid of elite players. Like, has Max told you he wants to come back? And Spy was like, well, I mean, we're not going to talk about all the conversations we've had with Max. So,
how convenient.
So, like, it's like, okay, like, yeah, exactly. So I think we know that Max is looking to most likely play elsewhere. I just think where Philly's at right now, and offensive line, things like that they haven't invested in high in the draft over the last couple of years. I don't know if you want to give away those top of the draft type of picks.
Yeah, agreed. All right, last thing. What are we missing? What are you hearing? Is there something that we're not hearing or expecting? Is there anything else that the Eagles could do that would maybe take us by surprise?
I think you should keep an eye on any Eagle becoming a Dallas Cowboy, whether that's Nakobe Dean, whether that is Phillips, whether that's, there's certain players on that defense that Christian Parker thought the world of, to my understanding. And I know Dallas is really just 100% focused on that side of the ball right now. I honestly, from my understanding, would not rule them out for Max Crosby. I really wouldn't. They have 2 first-round picks. So I wouldn't rule that out, but I would keep an eye on somebody on that defense possibly making their way to
Reed Blankenship, another Eagles free agent?
Maybe a Reed Blankenship. Yeah, they're looking on all 3 levels, guys, honestly. Like, they need help everywhere. I think we all saw that. I think the defense in Dallas was off to, let me get this straight, the worst start in NFL history, I believe, for a good chunk of last year. So they got their work cut out for them. And Christian knows a lot of those guys on that side of the ball and thinks the world of a couple of them, I know for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kick the tires on getting one of those guys down there.
Well, that would be interesting. All right, let's send it to the King of Prussia Mall, out inside the wall-to-wall sound and video. A young James Palmer.
Go to the wall, get the sticker on your CD case so you can return it if you scratch it. Yep.
There he is.
Oh,
all right,
man.
James. There it is.
Nothing but trouble.
Here he comes.
I came for the party to get naughty.
There it is. All right, James. Always appreciate it, buddy. Good luck.
All right, you guys take it easy.
All right, there he is. James Palmer. Oh, I love that song. And then Tupac. Tupac, come on and rock this. It was like that was his debut. The first time you ever heard Tupac.
Is that?
I believe so. I could be totally wrong, but it's the first time I heard him. And Nothing But Trouble. That was 92, if not earlier.
Feel fact, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
By the way, House of Pain, this debate on whether or not it's a one-hit wonder.
Not a one-hit wonder.
I just looked up other top hits. They didn't chart another top 40 hit. So you had songs you liked. This is you're kind of arguing yourself here with some of the other...
No. Like, Boom Shalak Lock Boom with Shamrocks and Shenanigans. Their first album you can, and I had the cassette, but you could play from the beginning and go through the whole thing. Doesn't mean it was commercially a top 40. Like, they didn't have lots of hits, but
well, the AHA fan that was listening earlier was like, "Yo, Take on Me was just the best song that they put out there." You obviously haven't listened to the rest of their catalog.
Is the text line saying that House of Pain's a one-hit wonder?
I have not seen anyone go in their favor. I have not seen anyone go against them, though.
Boom Shalak Lock Boom. All right now, and they had multiple CDs too, and then Everlast became a big solo star as well. But
if we go by the threshold we hit earlier with Electric Avenue of can you tell me who wrote it, I would argue a lot of our audience has heard Jump Around. I don't know if all of our audience would be able to give you the...
Well, sure, it's 45. It's 40 years old. 30,
yeah.
It's 30 years old.
And those that are not one-hit wonders, their name stands the test of time.
Okay, but there's a difference between being a one-hit wonder, which is a group that literally had one song and they sucked otherwise, and then being a commercial success.
Sucked to you.
But House of Pain was a huge commercial success.
Thanks to Jump Around.
Okay, thanks to Jump Around, but also the rest of their, like, they had a second album and the third album, which granted wasn't as good as the first or the second. But they On Point was in their second album, which was it got some play. It had the video I remember watching.
Had the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you can't name Danny Boy and Everlast, Eric Strode, and
I'm using your argument against you here because you've had this argument. I forget which artist we had this about, that you get called out every time you say they were a one-hit wonder, that people come after you. And they're like, no, they had other music.
Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. This is your Montel Jordan argument just for House of Pain. You happen to like House of Pain.
It's not, because Montel Jordan didn't have any other good hits.
According to you.
Yes, according to me.
Right. And now House of Pain has hits according to you.
But DJ Lethal also was a huge success after he left House of Pain. He was the DJ for Limp Bizkit.
And that works. But that doesn't make House of Pain not a one-hit wonder.
Okay, so their primary hit is Jump Around, but that was a huge hit, and it wasn't their only song that they had.
We have a texter saying House of Pain is a one-album wonder.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Like Third Base was a one-album wonder. You don't know Third Base, but the Cactus album, they had another Derelicts of Dialect. They had another album. It sucked. It just had one song on it, really. But their first album, they weren't a one-hit wonder because they had that CD was awesome. That was awesome. But no, they're a one album wonder.
Thoughts on Who's the Man?
Who's the Man with the Master Plan? Yeah, that's a great song.
Great song. Okay, Chuck in New York says it's a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song. It was on the what was the soundtrack it was on? I used to sell yayo back in the dayo. That was one of the verses.
Yeah, sounds like stuff that was charting in the top 40s. Yeah.
They also had the House of Pain and Helmet on the Judgment Light soundtrack, which was a big hit.
Karate Mark is coming to my defense here. House of Pain, one-hit wonder.
Karate Mark, who was on the same plane as me down to Disney. I forgot to mention it when we were talking about. So I'm in the airport, and all of a sudden I look over and I've met Karate Mark many times, long time listener to the station. I met his wife Felicia, and he's like, "Yo, like, I heard you talking about it on the air. I knew I was going to be on the same plane as you because I was talking about how we had to get out early.
Right.
We're leaving on Saturday. So sure as hell, Karate Mark and Alicia on the plane going down to Orlando.
That's crazy.
And then we traded some messages. I had seen that he had DM'd me on Instagram. We traded some messages. So yeah, Karate Mark, not House of Pain's not a one-hit wonder. We
got another texter here. Marx is wrong. Jump Around is the only good song they had.
It is not. That's somebody that doesn't know the album and doesn't know.
One album wonder.
Yes. Okay. One album wonder's fine. I like the
different
second
texts.
one.
I'm trying to bring in different perspectives here.
Yeah,
even if I disagree with you, I'll read your text.
You have to understand. It was 1992. I was white, and I loved rap music. And there wasn't a lot of white rappers out at the time. And who comes out? Then this all-white Irish rap group called House of Pain, and their song was Jump Around. And there could have been nothing else that I needed in life than that. And it gave me exactly what I needed. And then, of course, you had Eminem come along later on or whatever. But the third base was Pete Nice was white and MC Search was mixed. You as a white guy, you're looking for a little
representation in the rap game. That's what you're saying.
Because I was a Public Enemy fan. Yes. So yeah, I love the fact that you had and they had an edge to it because I like rap with an edge. House of Pain had an edge. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Text line, phone line. All right, this is your last chance, and I don't even know if we need any more. We've been asking for voice messages on our text line for knockout participants. We have got a ton, probably more than we can deal with, but we're going to play you the best ones, and then we're going to decide who represents Middays with Marks in the knockout contest. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Edgecombe is out. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And following last night's game where VJ Edgecombe did not participate in the second half after taking a hard fall, was out with back soreness. He has suffered a lumbar contusion last night in the second quarter against the San Antonio Spurs. He's out for tonight's game against Utah. Will be reevaluated ahead of the team's next game at Atlanta. So we'll keep you updated with anything going on with Edgecombe as the 76ers prepare for a game against the Jazz tonight down at Xfinity Mobile Arena, trying to bounce back from a 40-point loss to the San Antonio Spurs last night. Less than a week until NFL free agency. You just heard from James Palmer on our airwaves, giving his thoughts on the A.J. Brown situation. You heard earlier today Adam Schefter give his thoughts on A.J. Brown.
I'm right where I've been. I'm not going to be shocked if he winds up getting traded, but they're certainly not making it easy, and they certainly don't seem like they're willing to move him. And if I had to bet $1 today, I'd say he's more likely to be there than not.
A lot of disagreement between insiders and where he'll be. We'll see what ends up happening with A.J. Brown. As for the Phillies, they're playing Team Canada today down in Clearwater. This update is brought to you by MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 1... Excuse me. Oh, it's going to load for you. How about this? For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique. If you're not alone, you always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union, 97.5 The Fanatic. this song before I saw this on a one-hit wonder list?
I guess it's pretty 80s song.
Yeah. 80s on 8.
Is that right?
Yeah. Tainted Love. You big Soft Cell fan?
Can't say I know their albums
sure?
as much as House
A lot of people
Pain.
saying they're a one-album wonder.
It's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song. They got a good song.
I don't know if I'm passing through, do I stay with it? Probably not. You know.
One of my parents stuck with it because I at least know the tune.
Really? Well, I would probably go past it and then circle back to it if there was nothing else. You know what I mean?
That was my favorite experience of the very limited time I had Sirius XM, where I was listening to music on Sirius XM, where it's like, wow, I have so many options. You hear a song you kind of like, then you go through like 30 different channels. You're like, all right, I guess I'll catch the end of that song I kind of like, and then reset and do it all over again.
Right. Yeah, and you catch it for 15 seconds. And
Right.
Then it's that's the problem with all those music.
You have a favorite song on the radio right now. Oh, great. Let me go look. Oh, it's something my parents like.
All right, so what do we have for the knockout tournament? We're selecting somebody that sent us in voice messages. You will represent Middays with Marks in the knockout tournament. You will get 2 tickets to the game that night. I would say we got more than we could handle.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot of people. We appreciate the voice memos coming in. So many of them today.
Yeah, so we tried to go through and find the best ones. We played a couple for them already. Oh, do we just have the ones that we played? Is that what we're going with, or do we have more?
Mike and Monco and Randy and Florence seem to be the two that kind of pulled the best amongst us. And I went to Nate. I'm like, Nate, you're reviewing all these. You're doing a great job back here. What do you got for me? And he said he wanted to enter at least one more person into this. So we'll have a top 3.
Okay.
So this is Dwayne in Philly.
Right.
This is not your average Wayne. I was there for Knockout last year, and I absolutely embarrassed myself. I need to redeem myself this year. There was actual footage of me embarrassing myself last year. I posted it. I was laughed at viciously, and I need to redeem myself. Put me on your team. I won't let you down. And if anything else, I'm a great heckler. I'm a good comedian. I'm a heckler. So it's going to be fun times. Just pick me, please.
Redeem team
right.
and heckler.
Johnny Marks.
What do you think?
I mean, redemption's a very, very good thing to be seeking in this contest.
But how do you redeem yourself?
You don't mess up.
Yeah, but is that under your control? Either if you humiliated yourself last year, why? Because you suck at knockout. Has he been training all off season?
Or, and I don't want to call anyone out here, but our good buddy Mike Vito, I don't think he's terrible at basketball. There was 2 years ago, right after he got the promotion, where he missed the shot, went to get the rebound, slipped, and fell right on, his backside. And,
on his keister?
Yeah, we missed him for a day there. You know how Patricia was hurting? Vito was
Vito.
working from home the next day because he couldn't get out of bed.
But are you surprised that happened with Vito? I would say no.
I got a meeting with him coming up at 2:30.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like Dwayne, redemption's a big thing to search. Do we want to go back to listen to Mike and Randy just so people know
quickly,
who we're
go
going
ahead.
for?
Quickly, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, fellas? My name is Michael Asenzi. I am 37 years old. I'm going to be 38 on March 16th. So I would love to be selected just because it would be a great birthday present and a night out for me and my wife. We have a
He's got kids.
2-year-old in 5 days and a 3.5-year-old. So this would be a great date night for us to get out of the house, have a few drinks. She can watch me embarrass myself on the court in front of a bunch of other people and get a kick out of it and make fun of me for the rest of my life. So that'd be
all right.
pretty
That's
cool.
good. Let's get. So what's the other one?
Midday boys, I want to come hang out with you guys. I basically met most of the guys on all the other shows. I listen to you guys every day. You're my favorite show. I never met you guys in person. Would love to ball out with you guys. I was 6th man of the year back in my rec league. What else? Oh, actually, add this to my resume. I'm friends with Sean Brace on Facebook. He liked one of my pictures one time. It's got to count for something. And I'm also the guy who sent this Bill Colarulo video to We Hear You on their show. Pretty funny. I don't know if it's going to get through. Anyway, thanks, boys.
And then he follows up with
Hey,
this.
also, I forgot, if it's real close and it's between me and another guy and you need extra credit, my girlfriend is smoking hot, so if I'm not that good at basketball, you guys could check her out.
All right. So he adds the hot girlfriend.
Yeah, which is a follow-up message.
Now, was there a follow-up message with a picture of his hot girlfriend? Probably.
We'll
not.
check the text line.
All right. So Ray, redeem team, and he's a heckler. Michael, it's a birthday present. He wants a date night out with his wife, or Sean Brace liked the picture on Facebook, and he's got a hot girlfriend. What are the guys saying in the back? What did Dutz and Nate say in the back?
I'm thinking Nate. If I had to guess just by personality, I'm thinking Nate is probably going with the guy that wants the birthday gift. Nate wants to be nice. Oh no, Nate wants to go with Randy.
All right, and Randy is the last guy?
Randy is
okay.
Hot girlfriend.
Randy
guy.
and Florence.
Yeah, which.
All right.
I mean, I would be intrigued to see Randy show up.
Let's go with Randy.
We're going with Randy.
Randy's the winner.
All right,
because he had like and the redeem team and the heckler was a nice
Dwayne
message.
Is someone that I would want to keep. Maybe we don't take him with this pick.
Next time. Yep.
There's a few prospects we got, which, by the way, I'm disappointed in Kyle Cooney. I haven't heard from him yet on this show.
All right.
Fire off a text to him, and he hasn't yet responded. I hope no one else is trying to recruit him.
All right. There you go.
All right.
There you go. Congratulations to Randy. He gets it. Let's go to Nick in Elkins Park. Hello, Nicholas. How are you?
What's going on, gentlemen? How are you guys?
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
So the first thing I want to touch on is this A.J. Brown trade. There's no way he's getting traded before June 1st. It's a monster cap hit if we trade him before June 1st.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody thinks that's that big of a deal, honestly.
I mean, McLean's the only guy that's talked about it, but Howie doesn't do deals like that. Like, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, but but let me just stop you. Like it's a $40 million dead cap hit because you can't space it out, so it'd be $40 million. But you know what else it does? It saves Jeffrey Lurie money. So while it hurts you on the cap, there's cash savings because you're not paying A.J. Brown that high salary. So all they really need to do is to make up for that, restructure a couple of contracts. Honestly, Nick, I don't think the cap implications are something they're worried about.
Okay, fair enough. Next thing I want to talk about was the Sixers. The Embiid signing, the extension is. Again, it's the worst thing to happen to this team since we started the quote unquote process. He was already injury prone going into signing that extension. Like it's not like we didn't know the history of the guy. For me, I looked at it as after him and Harden didn't get it done, that was the end of the Embiid era. Like that should have been it. He shouldn't have. We shouldn't have signed him to the extension. The Paul George thing. I don't think that hurts the Sixers as much because he's at least a usable player. He plays good defense. He can kind of fulfill. Yeah. Granted, we pay him a ton of money, but he kind of checks a box. He's a like 3-and-D defensive wing guy. Embiid takes up a ton of space on the floor. It's hard to play him with Edgecombe and Maxey. Horrible signing.
Well, but I think you hit it in the beginning. It's just the lack, and I appreciate it, Nick. He just can't stay healthy. If this was the guy that was playing 65 games a year, even 65 games, then I think you look at it differently. I don't know, man. Like, it's so hard for me to go back and relitigate whether it was a good decision to sign Embiid to that contract extension. Obviously, it wasn't, knowing what we know now. But if I'm Daryl Morey in that moment, am I really moving on from Joel Embiid? Am I trading him for draft picks? Am I not, like, I'm literally allowing him to walk? That was never going to happen. So while it's easy to say right now they shouldn't have signed him to the contract, because they didn't need to do it when they did it. I think that's the biggest thing. So that's where Morey made the mistake. They were never moving on from Joel Embiid. Now, if they didn't need to sign him when they signed him and they waited, maybe it's a different story with the contract. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm over all that stuff. Ray? Like, I'm so exhausted by this team. How many years do we need to be exhausted by the Sixers?
Probably at least like 2 or 3 more.
No.
I mean, I would imagine at least 2 more.
I'm ready to get back to the process. Let's think.
I'm going to watch a team that's trying to do that right now tonight down there.
Is Henry Sims available to be signed to a 10-day contract? Can we bring him back?
I would love to try and track down Henry Sims.
Let's bring him on.
Yeah, let's bring him on.
Why not? Yeah, so who's out tonight? Edge comes out tonight because he hurt his butt, I guess. He landed on his butt, his back.
Lumbar
contusion, I think.
Contusion.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, lumbar contusion.
Lumbar contusion. He's going to be reevaluated. Are we entering a territory where they're going to start? Do they have their first round draft pick, or they don't have it this year?
I mean, it's protected. Yeah, because they got it last year, so it's under some sort of protections this year. First round.
How many games are left?
No, they're not going to start the losing. They only got 22 left. With the way the tank race is going this year, they're not going to have it.
All right.
76er first round pick. Protection.
No one's talking about that because up until this point, they're still the number 6, but they're only a half a game above 2 teams, and Charlotte's a game and a half back.
Oh, it's a top 4 protected pick again. Yeah, they're not going to.
Okay.
That pick's gone.
All
Congratulations to Oklahoma City, who now have Jared McCain, Isaiah Joe, and whoever the 76ers would have picked.
Awesome. Coming up, YouTube chat recap, and we wrap it up. Middays with Marks 97.5.
No hot take.
This is how we end every One Hit Wonder Wednesday. This is where you can watch Ray dance on YouTube. We're back. Middays with Marks. 1 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration, championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call them 610-831-HAIR. My DMs are also always open if you have any questions or you'd like for me to send you. I have pictures from when I had my hair restoration procedure done. You can see exactly what it looked like. My results. Check it out. I don't even know if we have this. Nate just saved it. I just sent it to him. So Johan Rojas got to start today for the Phillies. I don't know if this is the first play of the game, but it was one of the first plays of the game. So even though he's facing a half of a season suspension, he's allowed to play in spring training while he awaits the appeal. Can he play in spring training anyway? And then once it's over, these are regular season games.
I would imagine he's going to depart the group as soon as this goes down, right?
I don't know I don't know. I mean, it's not. He's not allowed to play in the postseason, but it's not. I don't know if he's suspended for spring training. Regardless, Rojas is playing today, and he got the start. And here's how it sounded on. Is this on NBC Sports Plus with Tom McCarthy?
Yeah, because I think today's a home game.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, here it is.
To Edward Julian, who slams this one to deep right center field. What a catch by Johan Rojas. He got a great jump, great extension, and reeled it in for the first out of the day.
It's a good catch.
First out of the day. First play.
First play. There you go.
And look at that ovation, too.
Man,
don't say Philadelphia fans don't show love.
Tens of people, but people might not even know it was him. I mean, think about it. It's spring training.
I would think Johan Rojas is at the top of a lot of people's minds right now down there in spring training.
Was that Ruben that went?
Sounded like Ruben.
Oh, it's funny. Well, there you go, Johan Rojas. All right, let's get to the YouTube chat recap. What do we got?
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Yep.
I hope all of the Dunkins and McDonald's around Mad Mike close down. Kevin from New Jersey.
Yeah, Mad Mike, not a favorite among probably everybody or anybody. Right?
No, I've grown to kind of appreciate just how brain broken he appears to be when it comes to sports. It's
good way to describe it.
Yeah, it's like he hates everything. So if you look at it from that perspective, if he hates what you like, that's not a bad thing that you like.
Not
that
a bad thing.
No, he just hates everything.
One thing he did say was that he has to go out and get his wife coffee every morning. What about the coffee maker? No? You don't do coffee maker?
No, I would do the coffee maker.
Coffee maker.
I understand where he's at.
There's something about going out and getting a cup of coffee that you're not normally getting. I program my coffee maker 5 a.m. When I make it downstairs by 5:07, it's waiting for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the future. That's 2026 right there.
You're damn right.
I need a coffee maker like that. What do you have?
It's a Ninja. Well, you can...
I'm like 10 years away from affording a Ninja.
You don't need an expensive coffee maker. They all have timers for the most part. I think I have one in my storage and basement that has a timer that I just moved on and upgraded.
I have a very nice Keurig in the sense that it was a very nice Keurig about a dozen years ago.
Right.
But it gets the job done. It certainly doesn't have a timer.
No?
No.
All right.
No.
All right. What's next?
3 Big Macs? Geez, fatty marks. WP from the YouTube chat.
I was fat, man. I really was. I was chubby in the face. There's a picture of me. I think, is it the guilt? No, it's the late Richard Lewis. Richard Lewis came in studio. I don't remember what he was doing. And I got a picture taken with Richard Lewis, and his whole bit was he hated me because I was wearing the hoodie footy pajamas?
Yeah.
I had them on. I don't know why. And they weren't even mine. They were my wife's. So they were small. They were really small. I don't know why I had them on, but that was during my Big Mac period. For breakfast in the morning, Ray, I would get the largest Wawa coffee. I would at the time they were doing 2 for $3 Reese's king size, so I would eat 6 Reese's peanut butter cups, and then I would go to lunch at McDonald's and get 3 Big Macs, sometimes with fries.
Yeah, I could understand how you put on a few during that time.
I did. It was pregnancy weight. All right, what's next?
John, no wonder you're diabetic. Josh from Ben Salem.
I had diabetes when I was doing that. All right, I get it. Wasn't the smart move being diabetic. I'm not disagreeing with that. All right. But you'd say, you see my diet. I eat very reasonably right now.
You eat reasonably. You're an Orange Theory guy.
I do workouts. I bring sandwiches, so I know how many carbohydrates that I'm accounting for. I use low-cal bread, low-carb bread.
Yeah, no, I'm almost surprised to know that you went through that phase knowing you now. But I guess that makes sense because everyone that kind of eats the way that you do now either went through a phase or is just absolutely drilled into their brain from a very young age of like, this is how it has to be.
Well, I went through that phase after Halloween. I couldn't stop eating Halloween candy. So while I was still coming in here and eating sandwiches and eating healthy, I would go home hungry and I would just eat like 1,500 calories of Reese's peanut butter cups. They're my kryptonite. I can't help myself.
I found that we had them on the trip to Birmingham, these small little banana muffins I'm looking for right now because if the team's wondering where all the banana muffins went in this meeting room, I took an entire carton of them down. So good.
Ooh.
My kryptonite. Like Ray, what are you doing
banana
in here?
muffins?
Yeah, like a little small banana. Oh, so good. So good.
All right, what's next?
Ray, how in the world do you have any time to check out all the piercings when you're busy focusing all on the yams? Dawood Spriggs from the YouTube chat.
Well, Ray looks at people's faces. All right, he's not the
look
guy.
Into people's heart. I look into their personality and their.
Ray's a respectable young man. He's not staring at boobs when he's talking. Okay. All right. Any more?
It's not even the fact that Dawood put that on the YouTube chat. It's more the fact that I got Nate back there doing this.
You suck.
Yeah, to Nate. That's to Nate back there. Last one for you.
Smitty averages 65 yards a game as the number one without AJ. I don't think he's a number one with the current QB. JM from the YouTube chat.
That's 1,100 yards if he averaged 65. So yesterday, Ray, we had, that's the YouTube chat recap. Yesterday we had, I forget how it came up, but somebody had said, I more or less had said that I don't think that Devontae can be as good yards-wise as A.J. Brown. As far as how many catches, absolutely. He could catch over 100 balls, no doubt about it. He can be a Smith in a different offense if A.J.'s not there, sure. But I don't think he's going to surpass A.J. Brown. I got a lot of people that were angry. And I'm like, listen, I'm saying he's not more than a 1,500-yard receiver. Because that's A.J. Brown at his height was almost 1,500 yards as an Eagle. I mean, I love Devontae Smith. He's one of my favorite Eagles players. I think you have to be realistic in what he is. He can have 120 catches. Only he's having 1,600 yards. He's an elite wide receiver. He's a number one. Is he an elite number one? I don't think he's an elite number one. He's a number one.
He's number one. Yeah.
I was calling him Cole Hamels yesterday.
All right, I like that. Yeah, I'm in on Cole Hamels. He's not winning the Cy Young.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of teams would love to have him as their ace.
World Series MVP, one of the best draft picks they ever had. But Cole Hamels also needed Roy Halladay to come in afterwards and kind of make up for it. So
yeah, I'm in on that.
All right,
I'm in on that.
Yeah, no, it's not we just because if they trade A.J. Brown, it doesn't mean that Devontae Smith needs to turn into this 1,500-yard guy. And it seems like the Eagles, by putting out the propaganda, hey, well, listen, this is why we can get rid of A.J. because Devontae's ready to step up. Okay.
I'm sure Sean Mannion believes he could turn Devontae Smith into one of those number one receivers. If he didn't, he wouldn't be in coaching and he wouldn't have gotten the job.
Agreed. Coming up next, Unfiltered, Ricky and Bill. Talk to you tomorrow. See you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.